Chapter 2338. Tianyun had been guessing why the Purple Flame Planet was open to the public, but he hadn't expected that the Purple Flame Planet was sealed. The Purple Dragon Mountain in front of him was a seal, and a purple dragon was sealed inside. The sealed purple dragon had been trying to break free of the seal, so it kept emitting purple flames, trying to destroy this area. As the seal loosened, more and more purple flames appeared, and they became fiercer and fiercer. The purple flame race could absorb the purple flames and absorb the anger of the other party, and the purple dragon would gradually calm down. However, as time passed, the purple flames became fiercer, and they appeared more frequently. Under such circumstances, the purple flame race couldn't absorb them, so they could only open it to the public. As long as they opened it to the public, it meant that many divine star venerables would come down to search for treasures. Then, many divine star venerables would be attacked by the purple flames, and they would absorb them accordingly. It's really killing two birds with one stone. Tianyun could make a rough judgment from the short information. He hadn't expected this to be the real purpose. After thinking about it carefully, it made sense, but it was a bit too much of a scam. They had to pay 10-star venerable level treasures to help deal with the matter. The Purple Flame Race's deal was really worth it. If the cultivators outside knew the truth, they would definitely curse. They had to pay such a high fee to help absorb the purple flames. It would be fine if it were just 2 or 3 treasures, but they were only paying 10, and they could only stay for a month. These restrictions made sense, and the people outside really thought the Purple Flame Race was being generous by opening it to the public, not because of an internal crisis. Based on this situation, most Divine Star Venerables would definitely be dissatisfied if word of this got out. When no one came and they all tried to lower the price, the Purple Flame Race would definitely lower the price, and they might even open it to the public. The Purple Flame Race couldn't absorb so many purple flames, so they could only ask for help. Now, they didn't need to ask for help, but a group of Divine Star Venerables came in. They not only had to pay a lot of Star Venerable level treasures, but they also had to help absorb the purple flames. It was a huge loss. I really want to know who the one who came up with this plan was, and who came up with this plan. Tianyun shook his head. These people were really smart. They came up with a plan that no one would doubt. The two girls chatted while carrying a small basket on their back. They went straight to the top of Mount Violet Dragon. There were spirit herbs that could be picked there, so they definitely had to go up. Tianyun's eyes flashed. He hid behind them and followed them. It was just right for them to lead the way. He also wanted to hear what they were talking about. Along the way up the mountain, there weren't many interesting topics discussed. They were either talking about daily life or complaining that Zilong was too fierce, and they didn't know when he would be able to suppress it. A lot of the important content was missing, which made him itch a little. He really wanted to catch one of them and search his soul. That way, he would be able to learn everything about the Violet Flame Star. However, he didn't do that. His main objective was to find the Supreme Grass. The life and death of the Purple Flame tribe members had nothing to do with him. Hence, he couldn't be bothered to search their souls. After following them for a while, Tianyun felt that it was no longer interesting, so he quickly took a detour, avoiding the route they took, and flew towards his destination. Since there was no one else around, it shouldn't be a problem to move around. The key was that the Supreme Grass was right in front of them. It should be around here. Tianyun quickly flew over. Based on the distance sensed by the appraisal eye, he quickly arrived at the corresponding location. However, he was blocked by a thick purple crystal wall. After a quick glance, he punched it without hesitation. With a dong sound, a small crack appeared on the purple crystal wall. So hard? Tianyun was shocked. He didn't use all his strength in that punch, but at least half of it. If it was an ordinary mountain, it would have been smashed into powder. But now there was only a small crack. He had to admit that this thing was really hard. This area won't do. I have to go deep into Mount Violet Dragon and find a weaker area. Tianyun could sense the distance between them through the appraisal eye. If he could break through this purple crystal wall, he would definitely be able to reach the supreme grass in the shortest time possible. However, this purple crystal wall was too hard and thick. If he were to break through it, he would be discovered by the Purple Flame tribe before he could break through it. At that time, not to mention the supreme grass, he would have to deal with the Purple Flame tribe. After thinking about it carefully, he could only take a detour and search for a weak spot or a passage to enter. Following that, he stuck close to Mount Violet Dragon and searched along the way. Soon, he found a cave. At the same time, the two young ladies carrying small baskets entered the cave. After going around in circles, I still have to go in with them. Tianyun shook his head. He couldn't enter the nearest area, so he could only enter through another area. He didn't even know how far away he was from the supreme grass. He quickly caught up with them and entered the cave together. When he entered the cave, the environment inside was even worse. As soon as he entered, many purple flames surged towards him, as though they were trying to devour him. Tianyun relied on his strong physique to withstand it. Moreover, with the strength of the 8-colored Emperor Dragon, he gradually got used to the power of the purple flames. On the other hand, the two young ladies were completely fine when they were attacked by the purple flames. Their bodies were like bottomless pits that devoured the purple flames. The Purple Flame tribe is indeed capable of suppressing these purple flames. Tianyun's eyes flashed. If he had the same physique, he wouldn't be afraid of these purple flames. The entire passage was very spacious. There weren't any special areas along the way, so it was basically a straight path. After passing through the long passage, the two young ladies walked out of the passage and entered another area. Tianyun sneaked over and looked around the cave. He was stunned by the scene in front of him. There was an incomparably huge purple crystal in front of him. A small purple dragon was sealed in this purple crystal. The entire purple dragon was coiled in the purple crystal with its eyes closed, as though it was in a deep sleep. Below this huge purple crystal, there were countless star inscriptions that covered the entire area. This extremely spacious area was basically filled with star inscriptions. There wasn't a single area that didn't have star inscriptions. At the same time, the star inscriptions weren't low. There were at least grade 4 star inscriptions and a small number of grade 5 star inscriptions. Using so many star inscriptions to seal this purple dragon was really extravagant. Chapter 2339. After sizing up the purple dragon, Tianyun had a rough understanding of the situation. This purple dragon's cultivation was indeed shocking. It was a late-stage heavenly star supremacy. This was the situation when it was sealed. Who knew how terrifying it would be when it was unsealed? Seeing so many star patterns sealing it, it was clear that it was not simple. It could even be said to be ferocious. I wonder what this purple dragon did to be sealed like this by the Purple Flame tribe. Tianyun shook his head. He was sure that there was no reason for it to be sealed like this. However, he did not know if it was the Purple Flame tribe's problem or the purple dragon's. In the area before him, besides the sealed purple dragon, there were many extremely solid purple crystals on the ground. Some were bigger, while others were smaller. The two young girls picked these purple crystals with their small basket. They specially picked the bigger ones, dug them out, and threw them into their small baskets. How long has it been? So many purple king crystals have been condensed. Isn't this purple dragon too angry? One of the young girls painstakingly dug out a piece of purple king crystal and threw it into her basket. She looked up at the sealed purple dragon. It's getting stronger and stronger. It will be fine after a while. Anyway, it is like this every time. It will calm down after a while. Moreover, we can dig out these purple king crystals. How can we waste such precious purple king crystals? The other young girl happily dug out the purple king crystals and threw them into her basket. Purple king crystals were very beneficial to them. Hence, they would not let go of any purple king crystal. However, they would not pick the small purple king crystals. They would only pick the bigger ones. After throwing them into the basket one by one, he continued to dig happily. It seemed like their mission was to dig for purple king crystals. After digging, they would leave quickly. At least, apart from the two of them, there was no one else. This meant that although this place was very important, there was no need for a heavy guard. With so many strong star patterns, it would be extremely difficult to destroy. Moreover, by the time someone tried to destroy it, they would already be discovered. Hence, the Purple Flame tribe would not send anyone to guard it. Most importantly, they had all kinds of protective measures, such as the token. Generally, there were very few people like Tianyun, who were basically negligible. Therefore, it was very difficult for anyone to enter the restricted area, which was also one of the reasons why they were not worried. In addition, the purple flames were more concentrated and kept surging. The purple flames were caused by the purple dragon in front of him. Now that it was so close, the number of surges would definitely be higher. As members of the Purple Flame clan, the two young ladies were able to withstand it easily. However, if this went on, they wouldn't be able to hold on for long. Even the Purple Flame tribe couldn't keep absorbing purple flames. Tianyun looked around. There were quite a few passageways that led to different places. They looked rather irregular. They should be the internal passageways of Mount Purple Dragon, not the ones that were opened by himself. Some of them were rather orderly, and that was the specially opened passageway. Soon after, he glanced at them. While they were digging, his figure flashed, and he dashed towards the tunnel in front of him at an extremely fast speed. He entered like a gust of wind. The two girls subconsciously raised their heads, looked around and said doubtfully, "I seem to feel someone flying over? Don't scare me, okay? Who flew here before? Let's hurry up and finish digging. I don't want to stay here either. This purple dragon is strange. If it breaks out of the seal, it'll be troublesome." They immediately increased their speed of digging, and they didn't even dare to chat anymore. Tianyun easily entered another passageway, and he dashed towards the location of the supreme grass. He had checked before, and this passageway led to the location of the supreme grass. Along the way, he dashed forward quickly, and there was no one else around. The Purple Flame tribe usually came here to check on the situation of the Purple Dragon's seal, or to dig for Purple King crystals. There was nothing interesting in the other places, so no one came to check. Along the way, Tianyun did not see anything interesting. It was just a very ordinary passageway. There weren't treasures everywhere here. If there were treasures everywhere, how could the Purple Flame tribe let it go? It was precisely because there weren't many treasures here that the supreme grass hadn't been plucked. Otherwise, the Purple Flame tribe would definitely have taken the supreme grass away. How could the Purple Flame tribe not want such a precious supreme grass? The Purple Flame tribe also needed the supreme grass to enhance their star dharma powers, and it was basically the same. I'm here, it's here. It's basically the weakest spot. Tianyun stopped in front of one of the walls, and he stretched out his hand to feel the thickness. It's still a little thick, but it's not as exaggerated as before. After confirming the location, Tianyun immediately started to smash the wall. This time, he didn't just use his fist. He took out 10 Supreme Being weapons, and he slashed at the wall ferociously. He wanted to break this wall as quickly as possible, and then take the supreme grass away to prevent any more complications. Dang, dang, dang! Under the frenzied slashing, the amethyst wall started to be destroyed rapidly. The power of 10 Supreme Being weapons was not bad. However, the Supreme Being weapons started to become blunt, and it had to be said that the amethyst wall was really too sturdy, and it wasn't that easy to destroy. Tianyun controlled his strength to be moderate, and it wouldn't make too much noise. If he was discovered, he would be in trouble. As long as he could get the supreme grass, it wouldn't matter even if he was discovered. He could easily escape from this area with a teleportation god stone. As he quickly and fiercely chopped down, a passageway was quickly carved out. Then, he fiercely rushed forward, and with a bang, the wall in front of him cracked. What came into view was a spacious area, and the supreme grass in the center. He finally saw the supreme grass, and he was a little excited. "I've finally found it after going one round." Tianyun took a few steps forward, and just when he was about to pick the supreme grass, a purple aura surged out, and a shadow appeared above the supreme grass, which quickly condensed into a purple dragon. "Brat, I didn't expect you to find the supreme grass. How did you find it?" The purple dragon spoke in human language, and Tianyun was stunned. He didn't expect the supreme grass to be attached to the power of the purple dragon, but after thinking about it carefully, it wasn't that surprising. The purple dragon's anger could spread to the entire violet flame star, and at the same time, it could attach some of its spiritual will to the supreme grass. Chapter 2340. Why do you care how I found it? Tianyun's expression was indifferent. He didn't have a good impression of the purple dragon, especially when it was sealed. He didn't have a good impression of it. Only the heavens knew if Zilong had done something wrong. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been sealed here. "Brat, don't be so cold. Since you're not from the Purple Yen clan, we can have a good talk." Zilong flipped around on the supreme grass with a hint of a smile in his eyes. "Let's talk about a condition. You're looking for the supreme grass because you want to improve your star's celestial body, right? Currently, there's only the supreme grass here. You don't have the other two divine herbs, right? As long as you help me. I've already obtained the other two, thank you." Tianyun sneered. Zilong had indeed started to tempt him. Before Zilong could say anything, he immediately retorted. "That's not important. It's not like you can definitely break through just by obtaining 3 types of godly medicines. If you use my method, you'll definitely succeed in one go. I'm not lying to you." Zilong changed the topic again, using another method to tempt Tianyun. "Is that so? I don't need it. If you can scram now. Don't hinder me from harvesting the supreme grass." Tianyun's expression was indifferent. He didn't seem to care about Zilong's temptation at all. Regardless of which method it was relatively ordinary for him. Even the second method was the same. In his opinion, even if he failed, he wouldn't need Zilong's help. "Brat, you're seeking your own death." Zilong's smile gradually disappeared. "Don't think that just because I'm sealed, I can't deal with you. Let me give you a piece of advice. Help me with something. Not only will I give you great benefits, but I'll also help you break through to the heavenly star supremacy easily. Are you willing? I think there must be a story behind why you're sealed here, but I can't be bothered to understand it. Whether it's you or the Purple Yen clan, I don't believe you. I just want the supreme grass." Tianyun took out a weapon and threw it without hesitation, wanting to destroy this spiritual will. However, just as the attack flew over, a purple flame immediately appeared, freezing the weapon in midair. Let alone touching the purple dragon, it didn't even have a chance to approach it. "I'll give you one last chance. Either you promise me or you die." The purple dragon was enraged, causing the entire purple dragon mountain to tremble. Following that, a purple flame burst out from behind Tianyun, sealing off all the exits, making it impossible for him to escape. "Don't worry, I won't die even if you die." Tianyun waved his hand and the 10 supreme-level weapons appeared beside him again. His eyes were cold as he shouted, "Break!" Without hesitation, Tianyun brandished the 10 supreme weapons and slashed forward. "Then go to hell." There was no emotion in the purple dragon's eyes. With a wave of its hand, purple flames quickly surged from the ground, wrapping around Tianyun. In an instant, the entire area turned into a sea of flames, enveloping Tianyun. When the purple dragon erupted, its power was rather shocking. So many purple flames were enough to suffocate most divine star supremacy cultivators. Sometimes, when they couldn't withstand it, they would really be frozen into an ice sculpture and die. Soon, Tianyun was swallowed by the purple flames. The purple dragon's spiritual will dimmed. Using this move had consumed a lot of energy. It had gone to great lengths to attach itself to the supreme grass and condense a bit of energy. Now it could only release it. What a waste. I hope I run into some greedy cultivators next time. The purple dragon felt that it was a pity. He had waited so long for someone from another race to come, but he hadn't expected that person to be so stubborn and ignore him. Just when Tianyun thought it was over, a figure rushed out of the purple flame, and 10-star venerable level weapons spun crazily, and turned into a hurricane, blowing away the purple flame that was rushing towards Tianyun. Tianyun didn't even get close to the purple flame. After Tianyun rushed out, he reached out and grabbed the purple dragon's spiritual will. His eyes shone with a cold light. Devour soul. His soul bloodline immediately surged out and sucked the purple dragon's spiritual will into his palm. How can he be fine? The purple dragon screamed. He hadn't expected his opponent to be fine, and he even had the ability to devour souls, making it difficult for him to struggle. Don't struggle. Come in. Tianyun grabbed and sucked the purple dragon's spiritual will into his palm. The purple dragon couldn't resist at all. The purple dragon's physical body was strong, but it didn't mean his spiritual will was strong. Hence, it only took him a little effort to suck it in. After absorbing the purple dragon's spiritual will, Tianyun quickly transformed the spiritual will and extracted the memory in it. He wanted to know the general situation of the purple dragon. Since he was going to destroy the purple dragon's spiritual will anyway, he might as well investigate what had happened. After a while, Tianyun opened his eyes slowly. There was a cold light in his eyes. As expected, the purple dragon is not a good guy. He has been sealed by the Purple Flame Clan. He had a general understanding of the purple dragon's situation through the memory. Although he hadn't obtained most of the information, since it was just a spiritual will and didn't contain a complete information, he still had a general understanding of the situation. The purple dragon was an evil dragon that liked to cause trouble everywhere. He would devour any living creature he saw, and he would run away after plundering all the valuables. Over time, the Purple Flame Clan couldn't stand it, so they sent people to suppress it. Under this suppression, he had been sealed there for many years. Although he had been sealed, it was still beneficial to the Purple Flame Clan. By turning this ordinary planet into a Purple Flame planet, he had created a good cultivation environment for them. This could be considered a coincidence, but the Purple Dragon wasn't satisfied. Why was the Purple Flame Clan able to move freely outside while he was sealed here? In the end, the Purple Dragon was too arrogant. He had harmed the world and even devoured a lot of the Purple Flame Clan. Under such circumstances, how could the Purple Flame Clan not seal him? However, the Purple Dragon was strong and almost immortal. Otherwise, they wouldn't have only sealed him instead of killing him. In Tianyun's opinion, if the Purple Dragon hadn't gone overboard and cooperated with the Purple Flame Clan, it could have become a divine beast of the Purple Flame Clan. The Purple Dragon could create a good environment, and the Purple Flame Clan could absorb it and find all kinds of treasures for it. Why not? The Purple Flame Clan had also tried to negotiate with him, but it had fallen through. The Purple Dragon didn't like this. It wanted to be alone, but it had been sealed. After learning about the Purple Dragon's situation, Tianyun didn't have the slightest bit of sympathy. If it were him, he would have done the same. Rumble. Chapter 2341. The divine will that the Purple Dragon had painstakingly left outside had been crushed, so it would definitely be enraged. Under the rage, the entire Mount Purple Dragon shook like a volcano that was about to erupt at any time. Rumble! Tianyun felt as if the ground beneath his feet was about to collapse. In reality, it wouldn't. It was the purple dragon that was preparing to destroy him. Let's take the supreme grass first. Tianyun reached out to grab the supreme grass, easily grabbing it. Then, he lifted it up and forcefully dragged it away. Originally, the supreme grass wasn't easy to obtain. Since it could become a divine herb of this level, it already possessed intelligence and would definitely resist. Its own power would definitely be powerful, at least at the divine star venerable level. Now, however, he had easily grabbed it. It was all thanks to the purple dragon's possession that he had erased the supreme grass's own intelligence. If it hadn't been erased, it would have definitely resisted the purple dragon's possession. That was why Tianyun was able to easily obtain the supreme grass and store it in his star ring. Just as he was about to use the teleportation divine stone to leave, a voice rang out in his head. "Do you accept the special main mission?" Special main mission? Tianyun was startled. He hadn't had any main missions up until now, so now that a special main mission had popped up, he was very curious. After carefully examining it, he nodded and accepted it. Accept the mission. Ding. Successfully accepted the special main mission. Help the purple flame race fight against the purple dragon and destroy it. Upon completion, you will receive 50 billion star energy points, 10,000 slaughter points, 10,000 good and evil points, 1 lucky draw from the system, and 5 evolution points. After checking the mission, Tianyun decided to complete it. The rewards were too generous, and the most important thing was the evolution points. If he wanted to level up his crazy mode, he could only rely on the system's evolution points. If he had only used his star energy, he would have leveled up a long time ago instead of waiting until now without any movement. Fighting against the purple dragon? This isn't an easy task. I'll accept it for now. With Tianyun's current situation, there was no way he could deal with Zilong. The sealed Zilong was so strong, how could he deal with it? As soon as he accepted the mission, he immediately used the teleportation god stone to leave without any hesitation. In this case, Yang Kai did not plan to stay here any longer. Zilong's anger was aimed at him, so if he did not escape now, he would be in trouble. With a flash of light, he disappeared from where he stood. He had left the violet flame star. Since he had already obtained the supreme grass, there was actually no need for him to stay here. If not for the main mission, he might not have come back. Although the purple flame race had a good spirit of dedication, it had nothing to do with him. He still had many things to do, such as exterminating the ancient beasts in the Scarlet Moon Star. These were his missions. Hence, he had no obligation to help the Purple Flame tribe. But now that he had a mission, he had no choice but to help. But before that, he had to raise his cultivation first. Raising his cultivation to the heavenly star supremacy would make things much easier. At the very least, it would not be like now, facing a heavenly star supremacy, who was extremely difficult to deal with. When Yang Kai left, Zilong's target suddenly disappeared. He could not understand why the target suddenly disappeared. He had clearly locked onto him, but he disappeared right under his nose. He was extremely shocked. Damn it, what's going on? He actually escaped. Zilong roared, and the entire Violet Dragon Mountain shook again. The two girls who stayed on Violet Dragon Mountain suffered. They were so scared that they ran away and ran out of Violet Dragon Mountain. After escaping, they felt that their hearts were about to stop. What's going on? Violet Dragon Mountain suddenly became like this. It's too scary. I'm afraid the seal is too loose, right? Let's quickly go and inform. They hurriedly ran back and did not dare to continue digging for Purple King crystals. If they continued to stay, they were afraid that they would lose their lives. Tianyun, who caused Violet Dragon Mountain's rage, had already left. He was thinking, should he break through outside or go back to the Wu family to do so? Let's do it outside. Tianyun thought for a while, and did not intend to go to the Wu family to break through. After all, doing so would be a blow to Wu Yang. Whether it was a success or failure, it would feel like a blow to Wu Yang. After all, Wu Yang had just failed not long ago. If he went back to break through now, wouldn't it be equivalent to a blow to Wu Yang? If he succeeded, it would be even more so. Even Wu Yang would feel embarrassed. Even though Wu Yang was open-minded, he still felt a little depressed when he saw Yi Tianyun successfully break through. It was not that he vented his anger on Yi Tianyun, but he felt useless. Yi Tianyun quickly found a remote corner and quickly took out the 3 divine medicines. The collection of the 3 divine medicines made him extremely excited. He had to say that Sakanin brought him a huge surprise. If it were not for Sakanin, he really would not have collected the 3 divine medicines so quickly. It's time to break through. I hope I can succeed in one go. Yi Tianyun was also uncertain. The difficulty of breaking through was not low, just like when he upgraded in the Purple Cloud Divine Pavilion. The difficulty was really not small. Now that he upgraded, the difficulty was even greater, so he had to be cautious. It's starting. Yi Tianyun did not think too much about it. Anyway, if he really failed, he could only look elsewhere. There was no other way. Immediately, he stuffed all the 3 divine medicines into his mouth and began to prepare to upgrade the level of his unique star Dharma form. However, when he stuffed them into his mouth, the 3 divine medicines quickly flowed into his body. After condensing into a large ball of light, there was no movement at all. What's going on? Yi Tianyun was stunned. He never thought that such a thing would happen. Whoever consumed the 3 divine medicines would immediately cause the sky to change color and then divine light to descend or something. He, on the other hand, condensed all of it into his body. It seemed that it was only temporary. As time passed, it would gradually dissipate. After thinking about it carefully, he came to the conclusion that there was not enough of it. In a situation where there was not enough, it would temporarily condense into a ball of energy. When there was more energy, the upgrading state would be triggered. This meant that he had to find another batch of divine medicines. Could it be that it's because of the unique star Dharma form that I need more? Yi Tianyun frowned. After thinking about it carefully, he could only come to this conclusion. He did not expect such a situation to occur. Chapter 2342. Yi Tianyun was looking forward to it before, but who knew that it was not enough? If he couldn't find the extra 3 divine medicines in a short period of time, the energy in his body would gradually disappear. The current situation was still okay, but it would gradually weaken as time passed. Even if there was still a small portion of it left when he found the 3 divine medicines, it would not be able to last much longer. However, looking at the current situation, it did not seem like it was going to disappear. As time passed, it would slowly disappear. It would take a few years or even a few decades. It might seem like a long time, but in reality, it was not that long. The 3 divine medicines were very rare. Some people spent their entire lives without being able to find them. Even if some people put them up for sale, how many people would be able to afford the price? Looks like I need to find the 3 divine medicines quickly. Let's see if there are any nearby. Yi Tianyun was not worried. He still had many ways to obtain the 3 divine medicines. If he was really forced into a corner, he could use the ancient stone to return to the ancient era. There were definitely many divine medicines in the ancient era. There were not many people who could obtain them, unlike now where resources were scarce. However, he did not plan to use the ancient stone unless he had no other choice. Otherwise, it would be a waste. If this broken merchant store can be upgraded, I will definitely upgrade it. Yi Tianyun admired the merchant store's ability the most in the past. It was the ability to crazily buy things back after they were sold. The price was a bit high, but at least they could be bought without limit. As long as they gathered together a bit, it would not be bad. Now that the restrictions were much higher, he could not just throw anything in and buy without limit. At the very least, he could not do that with divine medicines. When the evolution points in the system increased, he would definitely upgrade the merchant store. That way, he could crazily buy all sorts of divine medicines and obtain a large amount of them. From the looks of it, he could sell the divine medicines and the items he obtained back to the merchant store. This way, he would be able to make a huge profit with a small investment. In reality, the items he sold to the merchant store were terrible. It could be said that the price was terrifyingly low. It was even worse than selling them to unscrupulous merchants. If he had no other choice, he did not want to sell to the merchant store anymore. Although he was cursing, he still had to look for the 3 divine medicines. Let's look at the supreme flower first. Tianyun immediately used appraisal eyes to search the surroundings. With a sweep, he quickly locked onto his target. There were quite a few supreme flowers in the surroundings, and there were quite a few on the violet flame star. Some of them were in the more remote corners, while others were in the hands of the Violet Flame clan. Now that he had the supreme flower, it was in the violet flame star. Look at the supreme tree. Tianyun locked onto the tree of supremacy once again, and the result was basically the same. There was also a tree of supremacy on the violet flame star. The purple flame race also had a stock of the tree of supreme. It was a little less, but at least it was in stock. Finally, the supreme grass. This was an old fellow. After a quick scan, apart from the previous ones, there were no longer any ownerless supreme grass in the violet flame star. Only the violet flame clan had supreme grass. The 3 divine medicines were the supreme flower, supreme grass, and supreme tree. The supreme flower and supreme grass were easy to obtain. They were in the violet flame star, and they were ownerless. It might not be easy to obtain them, but at least there was a chance to obtain them. Looks like I'll have to return to the violet flame star in the end. This is really troublesome. I'm afraid I'll run into Zilong again when I return. Tianyun didn't think that Zilong would give up after he escaped this time. When he returned, he would definitely fly into a rage again, and at that time, he would definitely be in trouble. Let's go back and take a look first. Tianyun's figure flickered, and he was teleported back to the violet flame star. It wasn't difficult for him to return to the violet flame star. An ordinary teleportation god stone could allow him to return. The violet flame star didn't have any restrictions, nor did it have any verbal enforcement law. Therefore, he could easily return, and he didn't need a super teleportation god stone. If he really had to use a super teleportation god stone, he could only accept it. In the blink of an eye, he easily returned to the violet flame star. This time, he didn't teleport back to the Violet Dragon Mountain, but to the outer region. But when he returned, he was in an awkward situation. The puppet was dead. Under such circumstances, the token must have been taken back. Now that he didn't have the token, he should be fine. Without the token, there should be no problem. Tianyun thought for a while. Anyway, under normal circumstances, he wouldn't encounter the Purple Flame tribe, and he didn't believe that the Purple Flame tribe would wander around randomly. Immediately, Tianyun aimed in the direction of the Supreme Flower, and he quickly flew in the direction of the Supreme Flower. His priority was to obtain the 2 divine herbs. However, just as he was about to fly in the direction of the Supreme Flower, countless purple flames suddenly surged up from the ground, and they swept towards Tianyun. They were like endless waves, and one wave after another, they rushed towards him crazily. I knew it. Tianyun was infuriated. It was obvious that the purple dragon had sensed his return, and that was why it had used the purple flames to deal with him. The purple dragon was sealed in this region, and its perception range was very wide. Apart from the purple flame tribe, it could probably attack everywhere else. Facing such dense purple flames, he could only keep dodging. However, these purple flames seemed to have grown eyes, and they swept towards him crazily. In the eyes of outsiders, Tianyun seemed to be extremely unlucky, and he was constantly being attacked by the purple flames. As he ran, the purple flames kept sweeping over, and they would hit him from time to time. It was really quite tragic. Fortunately, Tianyun could withstand it. If it had been any other divine star venerable, they would have long been frozen into ice sculptures. This was really the purple dragon's rage. It released all its purple flames and attacked Tianyun. After he ran for a while, a figure suddenly appeared in front of him, and looked at him in surprise. "Why are you constantly being attacked by the purple flames?" "You ask me, but who should I ask?" When Tianyun saw the figure that had appeared, his eyes lit up. "Miss Z, can you help me deal with this?" The person that had appeared in front of him was not an ordinary cultivator, but a young lady from the Purple Flame tribe. Her cultivation was not low, and she was at the Divine Star Venerable middle stage. She had seen that Tianyun was constantly being attacked, and found it very strange, so she had come down to check on the situation. She did not know why Tianyun was attracting so many purple flames. She had never seen this before. "Where's your token?" The young lady's face sank. She sensed that Tianyun did not have a token on him. "You might not believe it, but the token has been burned by these purple flames." Tianyun had a serious expression, and did not look like he was lying at all. After saying that, he ran away. "There are so many purple flames, help me deal with them." Chapter 23:43. The purple flames swept towards Tianyun. The girl next to him thought for a moment, then quickly intercepted them. She operated the power in her body, and quickly absorbed the purple flames into her body. With her help, the purple flames were all absorbed into her body, so that Tianyun would not be troubled by the purple flames for the time being. "Thank you for your help. These purple flames have been chasing me for a long time, and I don't know why. I paid 10 supreme-level treasures to come in, but now it has become like this. Isn't your violet flame star a bit too much?" Tianyun began to talk nonsense. Of course, he knew that Zilong was not happy with him, so it kept attacking him. "We don't know. You are the first person to encounter such a situation." Zishui frowned, also feeling very puzzled. But before they could talk for a while, the purple flame rolled up from the ground and rushed towards Tianyun's direction. It didn't seem like it was going to stop. "It's coming again." Tianyun hurriedly gestured. Zishui waved her hand again and swallowed the purple flames into her body. With her current situation, she could still bear it. "What's going on? It's still attacking you? Don't tell me you have some special constitution, or did you provoke Zilong?" Zishui frowned, thought for a moment, then said, "Come with me." Immediately, Zishui flew forward with him at an extremely fast speed. Of course, Tianyun immediately followed. As for the purple flames, they did not stop attacking him at all. Fortunately, Zishui resisted, so that Tianyun was not affected by the purple flames. Although these purple flames wouldn't cause any substantial harm to him, it would be inconvenient for him to go anywhere while being constantly attacked by these purple flames, let alone search for some divine medicine. Now, he could only rely on Zishui's help to solve the problem and see if she could get rid of these purple flames. With Zishui's help, Zishui led Tianyun through a special area. This area was completely isolated from the outside world, as if there was a word-of-law isolation zone in this area. After entering, the scene inside was different from the outside. There were no purple flames, and even the flowers and trees were of different colors. It wasn't just a simple purple color. It was obvious that this was a place that had not been affected by the purple flames. Even if the purple flame tribe could absorb the purple flames, they could not do so continuously. Under such circumstances, the purple flame tribe needed a resting area. The place where they lived would not be disturbed by the purple flames. "Elder Shuiwe, why did you bring an outsider in?" The guards immediately flew over and looked at Tianyun vigilantly, worried that Tianyun would do something improper. "He's a bit special. It seems like Zilong is very dissatisfied with him and has been madly attacking him with its purple flames. We have to investigate this. Zishui looked at Tianyun and asked curiously, "Do you have a special constitution or did you do something? If there really is such a thing. Previously, when I came down to look for treasures, I saw a divine medicine. Just as I was about to pick it, a purple dragon appeared and tempted me to help it. I saw that it was full of evil chi and definitely wouldn't help it. Without saying anything, I destroyed its divine will and became like this. I didn't even get the divine medicine. What a pity." He showed a depressed expression. This was a half-truth. The first half was the truth, and the second half was a lie. He didn't get the divine medicine. He couldn't say that he went to the Purple Dragon Mountain to get it. Otherwise, it would be troublesome. So that's how it is. That evil dragon really does possess some divine medicines. It wants to use these methods to charm others. Zishui frowned and said, "If that's the case, you can only leave this place. I will ask the guards to return all the treasures to you." Zishui could only let Tianyun leave. If not, he would continue to be attacked by the purple flames. In this situation, it was not a good thing. The Purple Yin clan was not very friendly to outsiders, but it didn't mean that they wouldn't help him. No, no, no. I came here to look for treasures. Wouldn't it be a waste to let me leave like this? Tianyun definitely didn't want to leave. If he left, what would happen to the divine medicine? What else can you do? Do you want to die here? Zishui said impatiently, "If you want to continue looking for treasures, do as you please. We won't protect you. Don't you want to solve the corresponding problems? For example, that purple dragon. Can't you just suppress it?" Tianyun said casually. He had a mission to complete. If he wanted to build a good relationship with them, it would be a good choice. Zishui stared at him and said, "Do you think we don't want to? That seal isn't that easy to repair. Why am I saying this to you? You only have two choices now. Either you leave or you go out directly. Your life and death have nothing to do with us. I choose the third one. I will help you repair the seal." Tianyun immediately replied. "Repair the seal?" Zishui frowned and said, "You? How is that possible? We even invited a level 5-star tattoo master, but they couldn't repair it. Do you think you can repair it yourself?" "They can't, but it doesn't mean that I can't. If you don't believe me, let me try." Tianyun was very confident in his ability. Sometimes, a high-level star tattoo wasn't the only thing that could repair a star tattoo. Zishui looked him up and down and asked, "You are also a star tattoo master. What level are you?" "A level 4-star tattoo master." "Although it's not the same as a level 5-star tattoo master, it's not wrong to give it a try, right?" Tianyun said, "No matter what, I am doing this for myself. I provoked that guy, so I must help him seal that purple dragon. Otherwise, I won't be able to move around here. Speaking of which, we are on the same side." "Who is on the same side as you, an outsider?" Zishui frowned and thought for a while. Then she said, "Well, I will let you try. Anyway, it doesn't matter if you are here or not. Come with me." Zishui led Tianyun to the front. The other guards looked at each other and didn't say anything. Since their elder had already led people in, there was no need to say anything. Under Zishui's lead, they soon arrived at a palace. Along the way, they saw many people from the Purple Flame clan. Chapter 2344. There are quite a lot of star rune masters. Tianyun swept his gaze across. There were quite a few star rune masters, and the highest was a grade 5-star rune master. It seemed like the Purple Flame clan wouldn't sit still and wait for death. They would definitely find star rune masters to strengthen the seal. If the purple dragon continued to wreak havoc, it would definitely have a great impact on them. Letting other cultivators in to absorb the purple flames was just a delaying tactic. If they really wanted to suppress the purple flames, they would have to rely on the seal instead of relying on outsiders to absorb them. That was obviously not as good as suppressing the flames with the seal, which would solve the problem for a long time. Most importantly, they didn't want outsiders to keep searching for treasures in the violet flame planet. They would also feel the pinch. If it was necessary, they still didn't want outsiders to come in. The cultivation of these star rune masters varied. The highest cultivation was only at the late stage divine star venerable. There was no heavenly star supremacy. Generally speaking, star rune masters spent too much effort on star runes, so their breakthroughs were slower. Of course, that didn't mean that they were bad at breaking through. Compared to ordinary cultivators, their success rate was still higher. But at the moment, there weren't any heavenly star supremacies. Another reason was that the reward was too poor. It wasn't very attractive to heavenly star supremacies. Especially heavenly star supremacies, who were star rune masters, it was even more difficult to invite them. The Purple Flame Clan's reward was relatively simple. It was a supreme grass. When he heard this reward, Etienne's eyes lit up. Wasn't this the supreme grass that he needed? They were using this point to continuously attract star rune masters, especially star rune masters with a cultivation of heavenly star supremacy and below. They definitely needed divine herbs like the supreme grass. If they spread the news, they would immediately attract a group of star rune masters. Elder Shuiwe, it's rare to see you bring someone here. Is he also a star rune master? Elder Zifeng on the side looked at Etienne from head to toe, and after a moment, he didn't look at him anymore. They were curious about why Shuiwe would bring someone here. Usually, Shuiwe wouldn't interfere in these matters. She would mainly protect the violet flame planet or patrol the planet to see if there were any outsiders causing trouble. As for internal affairs, she wouldn't interfere too much. Yes, he said that he's an astral rune master, so I brought him along. Elder Zifeng said simply, then turned to Etienne and said, "You can go and fix it now and see if you can pass the most basic test. If you can't even pass the most basic test, then you can only leave." Etienne nodded. If he couldn't even repair the most basic seal, then he really had to leave. If he stayed here, he would be constantly attacked by the purple dragon. Other than leaving, what other choice did he have? After which, Etienne walked over and joined the ranks of the astral inscriptionists. When the group of astral inscriptionists saw Etienne walking over, they merely glanced at him and couldn't be bothered with him anymore. Every astral inscription master that came was somewhat arrogant. Naturally, they wouldn't care about the other astral inscription masters. Etienne glanced at them and found that they were all grade 4 astral inscriptionists. This was considered a relatively high grade. At the very least, they could be ranked amongst the top in the big clans. As for the highest grade, they were grade 5 astral inscriptionists. This was a special case. However, in his opinion, it should be someone who had just stepped into the grade 5 astral inscriptionist. After all, they were already grade 5 astral inscriptionists. Etienne casually glanced at them and focused his attention on the seal in front of him. With a glance, he knew that this seal was similar to the one that sealed the purple dragon. There wasn't much difference. Basically, the seal of the purple dragon had been moved over. His eyes narrowed as he used the appraisal eye to quickly analyze the problem. After a short while, he smiled and said, "This is not bad. It's quite simple. Elder Shuiwe, I can repair this seal." As soon as his words came out, all the astral inscriptionists turned their attention to him. Their eyes were filled with astonishment. They had been looking at it for a long time, but they still couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. Etienne had just arrived, but he already knew how to repair it? Fellow Taoist, you must be joking, right? This is a relatively ancient astral inscription seal. Without some ancient knowledge, it's basically impossible to repair it. That's right. You're talking big, aren't you? You just casually looked at it and you saw through it? Even if you want to show off, You don't have to be so arrogant, right? Since he said so, let him try. It's not like this hasn't happened before. Just now, there was an astral inscription master who thought that he had seen through it, who knew that he would make such a big mistake. They didn't believe that Tianyun could see through it. This wasn't an ordinary seal, but an ancient astral inscription seal. It was basically lost in the ancient era. Otherwise, a grade 5 astral inscription master would have long since repaired it. If it was an ordinary astral inscription, the Purple Flame Clan wouldn't even need to invite someone over. Elder Shuiwe frowned. The seal had just passed by, and he said that he could repair it? Wasn't that a little too fast? Elder Zifeng's eyes were filled with displeasure. He didn't know who Elder Shuiwe had brought over, but he said that he could repair it. Moreover, he even said that it was easy. Wasn't this a slap to the faces of all the astral inscriptionists? Fellow Taoist, are you here to cause trouble? Elder Zifeng walked over and asked with a frown. Cause trouble? Didn't I say that I'm here to repair the seal? Now that I know how to repair it, I can basically be chosen to repair the seal. Tianyun pointed at the seal and said, You can take it out now. I'll repair it for you to see. What a big tone. I've seen many astral inscriptionists, but I've never seen someone so arrogant. You've only just arrived, but you can already see it clearly. Could it be that you're even more brilliant than me? The one who walked out was a grade 5 astral inscription master, Kuletian. He was somewhat unhappy with Tianyun. He felt that Kuletian was being too casual. Whether I'm more brilliant than you or not, it's hard to say. At the very least, I can repair this seal. It's that easy. Tianyun looked at Zi Shuiwe indifferently and said, Will you choose me after I'm able to repair it? Or do you need a few more people to help you? We will choose 2 or 3 more people. There are too many seals, and we need more people to repair them. Zi Shuiwe felt that Tianyun was being a little exaggerated, but she still explained, You mean to say that if we recruit 2 or 3 people, we will give them the supreme grass, 1 each? Tianyun shook his head and said, If that's the case, there's no need to find more people. Just me will be enough. I can handle 3 people, and my repair speed will be very fast. I'll guarantee that you'll be satisfied. Tianyun wouldn't mind having too few divine herbs. He might not only need the supreme grass, but he could also choose other divine herbs. As for whether or not he would give the others a chance, Mo Wuji was very sorry. Chapter 2345. Arrogant. Kuletian flew into a rage after hearing that. You're too arrogant. You haven't even repaired it and you're already negotiating terms? Even if you can repair it, how dare you say such things? Do you think repairing the seal is as simple as drinking water? You're too arrogant and ignorant. If you were my disciple, I would have slapped you to death long ago. You talk big at such a young age. Are you insulting us by bringing such a person here? Kuletian looked at Elder Zifeng and the rest, feeling very dissatisfied. The other Star Rune Masters were also very dissatisfied. Elder Zifeng and the rest were extremely embarrassed. Who knew that such a thing would happen? Tianyun came and talked big, scaring them. If I say it can be repaired, it can be repaired. You've been squatting here for God knows how long. If you can't repair it, don't waste time here. Even if you look at it for a few hundred years, you probably won't be able to see anything. Tianyun said indifferently, Since you said it yourself, it requires the ability of an ancient seal. You don't have any experience in this area. It will be extremely difficult to repair it. You don't, but I have the ability to repair an ancient seal. Just this point alone makes me stronger than you. Elder Zifeng and the rest were shocked when they heard that. If that was really the case, what Tianyun said was not too much. You know how to repair an ancient seal? Kuletian looked him up and down and mocked. What a joke. Someone like you knows how to repair an ancient seal? You're probably the same as the previous Star Rune Master. If you think that the Long Yu seal is an ancient seal, then it's too funny. The long U seal did have some hints of an ancient seal. However, it only carried some traces and was far from a real ancient seal. As soon as Yi Tianyun said this, everyone quickly recovered from the shock of what Yi Tianyun said before. Maybe the ancient seal that Yi Tianyun said is really the long U seal. All of a sudden, their expressions became disdainful. Long U seal? Yi Tianyun shook his head and said indifferently, "You are thinking too much. The real ancient seal is not this half-baked. If you don't have any questions, please hand me the seal, Elder Shuiwe. I can demonstrate it right now." Zi Shuiwe paused for a while, then went to take out the seal and handed it to Yi Tianyun for him to repair. At this moment, everyone was looking at him with mocking eyes, ready to see him make a fool of himself. Under everyone's gaze, Yi Tianyun stretched out his hand and patted it. Then, he quickly turned his hand and tapped on it a few times before stopping. "It's repaired." Yi Tianyun gently raised his hand and motioned Zi Shuiwe to take it back. Everyone was stunned. They didn't understand what was going on, and it was already repaired? Zi Shuiwe was also stunned, but she still took it and checked it. She was shocked. It's really repaired. After she injected her astral powers, the seal began to circulate. It was obvious that it could function normally. It's really repaired. Everyone was stunned. They really thought that Yi Tianyun was just boasting. Who knew that it was really repaired, and it was done perfectly? In such a short time, the ancient seal was repaired. It was unbelievably fast. They had been here for a long time, but still couldn't figure out what was wrong. After Yi Tianyun came over, he just tapped on it a few times and it was easily repaired. It was really incredible. Coletian was speechless. Just now, he was laughing at Yi Tianyun, but now his face was flushed. Wasn't this a slap to his face? He was a level 5-star tattooist, but now, in front of Yi Tianyun, he was so powerless. "That's no problem, right? Can you hand the task to me now?" Yi Tianyun said indifferently. "That's not a problem." Zi Shuiwe was pleasantly surprised. She didn't expect Yi Tianyun to be able to repair it. This was an unexpected surprise. "It's just that it will take a lot of time for you to repair it alone." "That's right, fellow cultivator, you can teach us how to repair the ancient seal, and we will repair it together with you." Yes, we can also help, as long as you teach us. We only want half of the reward." "Friend, let's work together, we will definitely not treat you badly." They all surrounded Yi Tianyun in a hurry. The reward was secondary, they all wanted to know how Yi Tianyun repaired the ancient seal. To be able to repair the ancient seal, Yi Tianyun must have some ability. One must know that there were many ancient seals in many large clans. If they could master the ability to repair, it would be equivalent to a meteoric rise. That's right, for this, you must be willing to share. Not to mention, I will pay a certain price in exchange for it. What do you think, friend? Coletian had already put down his pride, and his attitude had changed completely. "I'm sorry, I won't teach it to others." Yi Tianyun waved his hand. How could he teach it to others? For the time being, regardless of whether it was through the appraisal eye, if he could really teach it to them, he wouldn't teach it to them. Not only would it affect him, it would also make him unhappy. Just now, they had mocked and ridiculed him a few times, and now that he had changed his attitude, he would teach it to them? That was impossible. "Friend, what you said is wrong. Most of the ancient seals don't know how to repair the ancient seal. If you teach it to them, it will be equivalent to a contribution. Moreover, we won't learn it for free, we will pay for it." Coletian said with an awe-inspiring expression. Many big families need star rune masters in this area. In some ancient seals there are some powerful demonic beasts sealed, and we have to suppress them. Therefore, we have to cultivate the ancient seal in this area, so that when the time comes, this area will be safer. Coletian's words are really interesting, and Yi Tianyun can't help but laugh. "Master Ku, your wind cloud technique is quite good, why don't you teach it to me? I will also pay you for it, not for free. This wind cloud technique is very good, it can help me increase the speed of repair. Or rather, I can teach it to others, and it will increase the speed of carving star runes. Most star rune masters will have a lot of improvement when carving star runes in the future, which is equivalent to benefiting the whole area. It's much more useful than repairing the ancient seal, Tianyun said with a smile. What do you think, Master Ku? Repairing ancient seals is rare, but most of them are ordinary star runes, so your wind cloud technique is obviously more important. Hearing this, Kalishan's face sank. How is that possible? I won't teach it to others. Chapter 2346. Tianyun found Kalishan's words laughable. He hated this kind of person the most. His words might sound nice, but when he actually took action, it was all bullshit. Tianyun's words caused Kalishan's expression to change. He flew into a rage and said, "How is this the same? This is an absolute art that cannot be divulged to outsiders. It's different from your restoration technique." What's the difference? It's also a secret art that cannot be divulged to outsiders. Since you keep saying that you want to benefit this region, then you can contribute it first. If you contribute it first, then I'll do the same. Tianyun sneered at Coletian. Let's see who's better at arguing. He wasn't afraid of Coletian at all. If he wasn't a heavenly star supremacy, so what if he was a grade 5 astral rune master? More importantly, so what if he was a heavenly star supremacy? He wasn't afraid of him. Since Tianyun had put it this way, how could Coletian dare to accept it? If he really shared his technique, then he would really be an idiot. The reason why he was able to achieve so much here was because of the wind and cloud technique, which was why he had such outstanding abilities. His wind cloud technique was indeed quite good. It could greatly improve the engraving of star runes and also had a good effect in restoring star runes. When Tianyun said this, everyone looked at Coletian with shining eyes. They were all astral rune masters and knew the importance of this aspect. In terms of effect, they wanted Kalishan's wind cloud technique more. This was a general effect, not just a single effect. Knowing how to repair ancient seals could only repair ancient seals at most. However, the wind cloud technique was different. It could be used on any star rune. How could this not be tempting? They could pay a higher price in exchange for the wind cloud technique. The prerequisite was that Coletian was really willing to share the wind cloud technique. Kalishan's face was ashen. If he really shared it, then his greatest advantage would no longer exist. Even if he could gain a lot of benefits in the short term, it wasn't suitable for his current situation. It would be a different story if he lived in seclusion. Now that his reputation was so high, how could he live in seclusion? You're changing the concept. Coletian could only say this after holding it in for a long time. What's the point of stealing? Alright, since you're not willing to share it, then I won't share it. It's that simple. Tianyun shrugged his shoulders with a provocative look on his face. He was really not afraid of sharing it. After all, it was just the ability to repair ancient seals. It was not difficult, but it was not easy either. If it could spread out, it would definitely spread out. He couldn't be bothered to stay. He didn't rely on this skill to make a living, so he didn't pay too much attention to it. Coletian was unable to refute, unless he was really willing to share it. When the others saw that Coletian did not speak, they felt that it was a pity. They thought that Coletian was really willing to sell it. This kid. Coletian gnashed his teeth in hatred. A cold light flickered in the depths of his eyes, and there was even a hint of killing intent in them. He was very angry at Tianyun. If he could, he really wanted to fight with Tianyun. If you're willing to share your unique skills, then I can also share them with you. The premise is that the skills must be at the same level as the skills I share. Don't take out some lousy skills to exchange for them. That's meaningless. Tianyun glanced at them indifferently, then turned to Zhi Shuiwen and said, "Now, only I am qualified to repair the seals. Leave them all to me. But there are so many of them. No problem, leave them all to me, Eteonion said. That's ridiculous. Do you think there are only 1 or 2 seals? There are tens of thousands of seals all over the sky. Can you repair them all in a short time? Coletion immediately grasped the problem and stood out. No problem, Eteonion said indifferently. At least it's much faster than you. Bulsh *t. Coletion was so angry that he laughed. My wind cloud technique is the fastest. I dare say that all the star tattooists here can't compare to my speed of repair. That's a pity. My speed of repair is faster than yours, Eteonion said indifferently. Impossible, Coletion immediately denied. If your speed is faster than mine, my wind cloud technique will be in vain. He thought for a while and an idea flashed through his mind. He immediately added, since you said so, then let's have a competition. If your speed is faster than mine, you'll hand over the ancient sealing method. If you're faster than me, I'll hand over the wind cloud technique. Do you dare to compete? Coletion was sure that Eteonion's speed of repair was not as fast as his. He was quite confident in his wind cloud technique. This was not nonsense. In terms of this technique, he had long surpassed many star tattooists. He had competed with many star tattooists, and his speed was much faster. This was what he was proud of. No problem, let's have a competition. Eteonion looked at Coletion as if he was looking at an idiot. Why not compete? Compete with me in speed? Isn't this courting death? Good. Coletion's eyes were filled with surprise. He did not expect Eteonion to take the bait. He couldn't help but laugh in his heart. In that case, let the Purple Flame Clan be the witness. Do you all agree to this competition? When the other star tattooists saw this, they sighed and shook their heads. They did not expect that Eteonion would be so stupid as to compete with Coletion in speed. Is he new? Doesn't he know the power of the wind cloud technique? He should know about the wind cloud technique. Otherwise, he wouldn't have mentioned it. He probably hasn't seen it with his own eyes and doesn't know the profoundness of the wind cloud technique. If that's the case, I'm afraid the ancient sealing method will be revealed. They shook their heads and felt that Eteonion was a little stupid. Zishuiwe and the others looked at each other and did not say anything. All right, we will be the witness. After the winner is decided, there can be no regret. Zishuiwe and the others did not mind. If they really lost, they would have more people to help repair the seal. That would be good. They did not believe that Eteonion could do it alone. After all, there were so many seals. How could one person repair them alone? If the purple dragon saw that someone was repairing the seal, it would definitely go crazy. At that time, it would not be an easy task. He definitely could not slow down. If he did, wouldn't he be burned to death by the purple flames? I'm looking forward to seeing how fast you are. Coletion looked at Eteonion confidently, as if he was already confident that he would win. Chapter 2347. Coletion was full of confidence, as if Eteonion's ancient seal was about to fall into his hands. Not to mention him, even the other star rune masters felt the same way. They all felt that Eteonion would definitely lose. Competing with Coletion in speed, wasn't that courting death? However, they didn't say anything. Since Eteonion was so arrogant, they couldn't be bothered to pay attention to him. After all, they weren't familiar with Eteonion. Why would they persuade him? Especially since Eteonion was so arrogant, saying that he could take on 3-star rune masters by himself. Since that was the case, they would show him what it meant to be 3-star rune masters by himself. I'll let you choose what you want to repair now. Eteonion gestured to Coletion to look for star runes. I don't mind whatever star rune you find, even if it's the one you're most familiar with. Arrogant. Coletion snorted. You should be the one to choose, lest others think that I'm bullying the weak. I've said it before, if my speed is faster than yours, I'll let you choose. Otherwise, how can I show that my recovery speed is faster than yours? Especially if I defeat you on the star rune that you're most proud of, I feel that my recovery speed will be better. Tianyun said indifferently. You're too arrogant. Kulishan's anger rose. Fine, since you've said so, then let me see how strong you are. He was really angry. Tianyun kept provoking him. How could he not be angry? Everyone heard it. This is his request, not mine. Coletian looked at everyone, and everyone nodded. They all think that Tianyun is courting death. Coletian asked him to choose the one that has an advantage over him, but he let Coletian choose himself. It's really arrogant. Zishuiwe and the rest frowned. Why was Tianyun getting more and more arrogant? They wondered if he had the ability to support himself. Coletian immediately prepared a few dozen star runes. These star runes were all Class 4 star runes that he was most familiar with. He then handed them over to Zishuiwe and the rest to destroy. This would undoubtedly be more fair. Zishuiwe and the others fiddled with the patterns and destroyed them. Alright, everyone now has 20 level 4 star runes. These star runes have all been damaged. Now, it's a competition to see who can repair them faster. Coletian said to Tianyun after distributing the star runes. No problem. Tianyun nodded. I hope you can still be this calm later. Coletian snorted coldly. After the assignment, Zishuiwe acted as the referee. When the two were almost ready, she gave the order, begin. After the judgment began, they immediately began to repair themselves. Coletian immediately used the wind cloud technique. His hands seemed to transform into a gust of wind, dancing in the air. Everything seemed so mystical, but the effects were equally astonishing. The speed of recovery had truly increased by several times. Compared to the recovery speed of other star inscriptionists, it was much faster. The two of them were not on the same level at all. This wind cloud technique is really amazing. Yeah, if I could have this wind cloud technique, it would be really heaven-defying. It would definitely increase my reputation by a lot. It's a pity that this is unique to Master Ku. They were all envious and wanted to have this wind cloud technique. Immediately, they looked at Tianyun and found that Tianyun was basically motionless. This made them feel very strange. Coletian had already repaired 2 or 3 star runes, but there was still no movement from him. Tianyun just quietly watched Coletian repair. He smiled faintly and said, "This is the wind cloud technique? The speed is not bad, but it's still too slow." Coletian, who was next to him, was so shocked that his hands almost trembled and the star runes were damaged. Fortunately, he was not weak and forcibly took back his hands. He continued to stabilize his aura to repair the star runes. The others rolled their eyes. They don't know how fast Tianyun's speed is. Tianyun was still not in a hurry to repair the star runes. He was still watching from the side. When Coletian was almost done, he was finally ready to make a move. Isn't it too late to make a move now? It's good to have confidence, but it will become arrogance and conceit. There will be a price to pay for being too arrogant and conceited. They all shook their heads and felt that Tianyun was bound to lose. Although they had expected it, they still felt that it was a pity. Tianyun didn't care about their opinions. He narrowed his eyes and quickly activated crazy mode, increasing the repair speed by 50 times. Swish, swish, swish. Tianyun stretched out his hand and immediately repaired a few star runes. He chased at an extremely terrifying speed. When Coletian had 4 star runes left to be repaired, Tianyun was about to catch up. When Coletian repaired the last 3, Tianyun had completely repaired them. Everything happened too fast. It was like frying beans. With just a touch, a star rune was repaired. Following that, he aimed at the next star rune and tapped a few times consecutively. Just like that, it was repaired. This kind of speed was something they had never seen or heard of before. What wind and cloud technique! In front of such a heaven-defying technique, it was simply trash. Repaired. Tianyun retracted his hand. 20 star runes were repaired just like that. There was no problem at all. When Coletien saw the situation on Etienne's side, he was dumbfounded. The star runes that were repaired in his hand exploded without him knowing. Not to mention him, everyone present looked at Etienne in a daze. No one knew what happened. In the blink of an eye, Etienne repaired all the star runes. On the other hand, Coletien didn't even finish repairing them. The key was that Coletien needed some time to repair before Etienne chose to make a move. Now, not only did he catch up, he completely overtook Coletien and won this round. How is this possible? There's someone faster than my wind and cloud technique. Coletien was dumbfounded. Nothing is impossible. You think your wind and cloud technique is fast? In my eyes, it's nothing. Etienne said indifferently. Of course, since you lost to me, you have to hand over your wind and cloud technique. It's that simple. At this moment, everyone came to their senses. They were all shocked and cried out in alarm. What kind of speed is this? Isn't it too fast? What kind of technique is this? I can't even see it clearly. What kind of heaven-defying technique is this? If he could master it, wouldn't he be able to dominate this area? All of them had completely changed their views. Etienne wasn't arrogant. He really had the capital. Just this speed alone was enough to show disdain for everyone. Coletien's wind and cloud technique? It was a complete fart. Chapter 23:48. Etienne's speed was the strongest, far surpassing Coletien's. The two of them were not on the same level. At this moment, Coletien was speechless. He was more shocked than anything else. He knew that someone would be faster than him, but he didn't expect it to be Etienne, and not just by a little. I won this round, right? Where's the wind and cloud technique? Etienne reminded Coletien when he saw that he was still in a daze. Okay, I lost the bet. This is the wind and cloud technique. Coletien took out the wind and cloud technique and threw it to Etienne. He said in a low voice, there is only one copy. No matter who reads it, it can only be passed on to one person. The rest cannot cultivate. This was a special oath. Once it was activated, only the reader could cultivate. It was quite restrictive. This was to prevent others from spreading it. Otherwise, it would be a great loss. Therefore, after reading it, it would be difficult to pass it on to others. Only when one's cultivation reached a very high level could he break the oath and pass it on to others. However, when one's cultivation reached that level, he would not bother to do such a thing. Very well, thank you very much. Etienne turned to look at Zi Shuiwei and the others, who were in a daze. He smiled. I wonder if I can take on 3 at once? Yes, of course. Zi Shuiwei nodded after she recovered. This was not just 3 at once, it was 10 at once. This astonishing speed, who could compare to it? If he repaired the star runes with Coletien at the same time, before Coletien could even repair 2 star runes, Etienne would be done. Thank you. As for the reward, can I take 3? Etienne asked again. That's not a problem. We were looking for 3 people. Since you can take on 3, I'll give you 3. Zi Shuiwei made the decision without discussing it with the other elders. In fact, even Elder Zi Feng felt that it was a good deal. This speed was very fast. What they needed was speed. Otherwise, they would not be able to withstand Zi Long's wrath. Right now, Etienne's speed was rather fast. Not only did it meet their requirements, they were more than satisfied. Then I want a portion of the 3 great divine medicines to enhance the star Dharma form? Etienne asked directly. This. No problem. As long as you can complete the mission, it won't be a problem. Zi Shuiwei agreed decisively again. Since she had agreed to give the divine medicine, and the other 2 medicines were almost as precious, there was no harm in giving one of them. Moreover, obtaining the divine medicine did not mean that one would definitely succeed in breaking through. Those who succeeded in their second breakthrough were all geniuses. As for those who managed to break through in 3 portions, they were already considered outstanding. This was enough to show how difficult it was to improve the Star Dharma idol. Thank you. Tianyun's eyes lit up. With this, he would be able to easily obtain a bat. He wouldn't need to run all over the place. The others were extremely jealous. Who asked Tianyun to be so capable? They didn't have the ability, so they could only stare. Firstly, it couldn't repair the ancient seal, and its speed wasn't fast enough. Coletian gnashed his teeth. This time, he really suffered a double loss. It was a huge loss. However, a trace of coldness flashed in the depths of his eyes. An idea came to his mind. He sneered and didn't say anything else. Since Tianyun accepted this mission, the other star tattooists could only leave. Even if they were unwilling, they had no choice but to leave. Then, when do we start? Tianyun was rather anxious. If he waited any longer, he was afraid that the ball of energy in his body would disappear. Even if it was just a little bit of energy, he didn't want to waste it. He might not be able to achieve the effect of the enhancement. If that was the case, he would have to find another batch of divine medicine. Wouldn't that be a waste of time? Are you ready? Zishui asked. What can I prepare? We can start at any time. Tianyun said. Well, I thought you needed to rest for a while or prepare something. Since we can start right away, it couldn't be better, Zishui said solemnly. Then, I will go and call the clan leader over. We will move together later. Tianyun nodded and said, I'll wait here. After a while, a handsome man walked out. He had a head of long purple hair, a resolute face, and a huge body. He was like a giant. The most frightening thing was not his body, but his powerful cultivation, a heavenly star middle stage supremacy. This was the clan leader of the Purple Flame clan, Purple Gold Dragon. He had tyrannical strength and controlled the power of the Purple Flame clan. Of course, the clan leader of the Purple Flame clan wasn't the strongest. The strongest was the previous clan leader, and the clan leader before that. Their clan leaders had a time limit and couldn't be appointed forever. Everyone had different ideas. What the Purple Flame clan needed was fresh energy. Hence, they needed fresh blood to be appointed as the clan leader. Purple Gold Dragon was the third clan leader who was still alive. Every one of them was a powerful heavenly star supremacy, and the strongest was a late-stage heavenly star supremacy. It could be said that their combined strength was shocking. Ordinary heavenly star supremacies wouldn't dare to go against them. They controlled powerful purple flames, which was why they were ranked at the top of the Divine Flames leaderboard. Hence, they had a great advantage against heavenly star supremacies of the same level. Because of this, the Purple Flame clan could stand firm here and not fear the Hidden Dragon Star clans. Friend, thank you for helping us strengthen the seal. Purple Gold Dragon smiled. I am the clan leader of the Purple Flame clan. We are very grateful that you came to help us. Greetings, clan leader Z. Tianyun didn't say any pleasantries. He didn't know how to say pleasantries, so he just greeted him politely. Then let's get straight to the point. Later, we will follow you to the sealed area. At that time, we will protect you, and you can continue to repair the seal. We will protect you and you won't be in any danger. Purple Gold Dragon guaranteed. Hence, you don't have to worry about getting hurt. However, in the meantime, I hope that you can repair the seal as quickly as possible. Otherwise, with our abilities, we won't be able to hold on for too long. However, if you encounter any difficulties, let us know in advance. We can retreat and think about it. They had already made preparations. Although Tianyun had displayed shocking healing abilities, the seal was ever-changing. It was hard to say what would happen when they actually repaired it. Hence, they made things clear to Tianyun first. Otherwise, Tianyun would be too embarrassed to say it out loud. It would be troublesome if he wanted to save his face. No problem. There is no seal that I can't repair, unless it is a very high level and special kind. Tianyun was very confident because he had seen those seals before. Chapter 2349. Seeing Tianyun's confidence, The purple gold dragon smiled in relief. Since little friend Tianyun is so confident, let's set off now. The purple gold dragon signaled Zi Shuiwei and the others and prepared to set off. The ones leading Tianyun were the purple gold dragon and the others. There were 3 of them in total. With the purple gold dragon as the tribe leader, if they couldn't take it down, it would be difficult to take it down. As for the other 2 tribe leaders, unless it was a critical moment, they wouldn't easily appear. This was because they wouldn't interfere in these matters. This was what the current tribe leader was supposed to do. If they interfered, it would be a big problem and they would have to take action. In this situation, it was obvious that the purple gold dragon wasn't doing his job well. It could be said that they didn't interfere in the tribe's matters. If it was a more important meeting, they would still choose to participate. Under the purple gold dragon's lead, as soon as they left the purple flame tribe, a terrifying purple flame surged out from the ground and swept towards Tianyun. Even under the purple gold dragon's protection, the purple gold dragon continued to take revenge on Tianyun. As long as Tianyun appeared in its attack range, it wouldn't stop. What's going on? The purple gold dragon waved its hand and protected Tianyun inside. The purple flame outside was easily absorbed. It's a long story. Previously, when I was harvesting the divine medicine, I found a purple dragon's divine sense. Then, I smashed it and became like this, Tianyun explained. So that's how it is. No wonder that evil dragon was so crazy to take revenge on you, but you did well. The purple gold dragon laughed. It's a good thing that you were able to smash its divine sense. If it was someone else, they would have been tempted by it. One look and I knew it wasn't a good thing. I immediately rejected its temptation. Who knew it would become like this? Tianyun said righteously. He wasn't moved at all. The actual situation was a problem with the mission, and the temptation of the purple dragon was too weak. If it was a little more, he might really consider it. Well said, this fellow is full of lies. Whoever believes in its words will only walk towards the abyss in the end. The purple gold dragon smiled and said, Little friend don't worry. These little tricks are useless against us. After Zi Jinlong found out about this, he was actually quite happy. He became even more enthusiastic towards Tianyun. To them, having a common enemy made them friends. Under the guidance of the purple gold dragon, Tianyun quickly returned to Purple Dragon Mountain without any mishap. Zilong was originally sealed in Zilong Mountain, so of course he had to return here. When they entered Mount Zilong, it was still the same familiar scene, the purple dragon was still sealed in the crystal. This is the evil dragon that wreaked havoc on the world. Among them, the purple flame tribe suffered the most. We wanted to tear it to pieces, but it had an immortal body. We couldn't kill it no matter what, so we could only seal it. Now that the seal has loosened, we have to trouble you to repair it. The sooner the better. In the process of repairing the seal, it will struggle crazily. At that time, it will be extremely dangerous. You have to pay attention to this. The purple gold dragon's expression became serious. This was not an ordinary area. It was much more dangerous than the outside. Even if this purple dragon was sealed, it was still an extremely overbearing purple dragon. Damn human, you still dare to come back? The purple dragon's voice resounded through the entire space. Come back? The purple gold dragon and the others were puzzled. Cough cough. Previously, when I destroyed its divine sense outside, I wanted to escape this area. Now that I dare to come back, how can it not be angry? Tianyun hurriedly explained. He did not want to be found out that he had sneaked in. And don't worry about it. With us here, there is no need to worry. The purple gold dragon said in a deep voice. Tianyun nodded and quickly aimed at the seal at the side. Then, he immediately walked over and started to repair it. As soon as he went over to repair it, countless purple flames immediately enveloped him from all directions. The degree of ferocity was definitely several times fiercer than before. The key was that it was continuous. If it was outside, it would only attack from time to time. But here, the entire area was surging with purple flames. The purple gold dragon stepped forward and waved his hand, absorbing the purple flames into his body. Evil dragon, don't be arrogant. So it's you, brat. What are you doing here this time? Get lost. The purple dragon, who was sealed in the crystal, suddenly opened its eyes and glared at the purple gold dragon. Don't worry. Very soon, you will obediently close your eyes and go back to sleep. The purple gold dragon coldly snorted and did not say anything else to the purple dragon. At this time, Tianyun had already started to repair the ancient seal. Without saying anything, he activated the 50x repair mode. One by one, the ancient seal was quickly repaired. It could be said that all the seals present had different degrees of damage. Therefore, all the ancient seals needed to be repaired. However, as long as more than half of the ancient seal was repaired, the purple dragon's power would be greatly weakened. Therefore, there was no need to worry about it continuing to go crazy. Damn it, this human can repair the ancient seal. Go to hell. The purple dragon suddenly became furious. It had worked so hard to break so many seals and could move a little. Now it was going to be sealed again. How could it not be angry? In its rage, the purple flames began to condense and form a huge dragon. It fiercely pounced on Tianyun. Its power was actually several times stronger than before. In total, it was probably more than 10 times stronger. No wonder it was said to repair faster. With this crazy attack, they really could not hold on for too long. Break! The purple gold dragon fiercely punched forward, easily smashing the purple dragon formed by the purple flames. The violent power of Heavenly Star Supreme erupted. It was like a purple god of war had descended. His long purple hair fluttered in the wind. His handsome face was full of fighting spirit. He stood in front of Tianyun, blocking any attack. Tianyun looked up and continued to repair the ancient seal. His repair speed was quite terrifying, and in just a short time, dozens of ancient seals were repaired. When the purple gold dragon and the others saw this scene, they were all shocked. This was especially so for the purple gold dragon. He had never seen Tianyun's power before. When he saw this repair speed for himself, he was really shocked. With him around, I don't think it will take too long. The purple gold dragon was very surprised. It wasn't that he could not hold on any longer. If he could repair faster, that would definitely be a good thing. This damned human. How can he repair so quickly? The purple dragon was also shocked by Tianyun. It was one thing for Tianyun to destroy his spiritual will. But how could his repair speed be so shocking? Chapter 2350. Tianyun's recovery speed was amazing. Zilong was shocked. In the past, he would repair the ancient seal one by one. Tianyun's speed was like a batch. In the blink of an eye, a small area was repaired. At this rate, it wouldn't take long before the ancient seal in this area was completely repaired. The key was that the more seals were repaired, the weaker they would be. When that time came, there would be no power to speak of. Damn it, this guy's recovery speed is too fast. Zilong was furious. Once again, he used the terrifying power of the purple flames to interfere with Tianyun. However, with Z Gold Dragon guarding the side, how could he let Zilong attack Tianyun? If you want to interfere with him, ask me first. Z Gold Dragon snorted coldly and punched again, destroying the purple flames of the fire dragon. When Z Gold Dragon saw Tianyun's situation, he felt that he had to hold on no matter what. If he could not hold on for such a short period of time, what right did he have to be the clan leader? Not only him, Zi Shuiwei, Elder Zi Feng and the others were also resisting the purple flames. It wasn't just the purple gold dragon that was protecting Tianyun, they were also surrounding Tianyun to block some unexpected attacks. This was a comprehensive protection. They did not dare to be careless. If Tianyun was attacked and interfered with, It would be troublesome. They could bear the current situation. No matter how crazily Zilong roared, they could hold on. If this continues, it will be sealed again. Zilong stared angrily at Tianyun, who was not far away. In the next moment, Zilong understood. Then, Zilong began to shake. The entire huge purple crystal shook violently, as if it wanted to break out of the purple crystal. Soul form. Following Zilong's roar, a purple light rushed out of the purple crystal and formed a huge purple dragon. As soon as it appeared, it charged towards Tianyun without hesitation. This wasn't a simple condensation of purple flames. Rather, Zilong's soul had forcibly broken through the seal and was charging towards Tianyun. This meant that he was willing to risk everything and use his soul to attack Tianyun. After it appeared, an incomparably tyrannical power emerged. This was definitely the power of a late-stage heavenly star supremacy. Even without the support of a physical body, it still possessed the most terrifying power. Purple flame cloud. Zilong let out a furious roar, and the purple flames that filled the sky gathered towards it, strengthening its body. Originally, it did not have a physical body, but under the support of the purple flames, it gradually formed the most terrifying energy body. After forming an energy body, the purple dragon immediately attacked Tianyun. It opened its huge dragon claws and pressed down without hesitation. You dare to use your soul to escape? The purple gold dragon was also stunned, but he quickly reacted. He slammed his fists together and roared, "Open! Roar!" A huge purple gold dragon emerged from behind him. The difference between the two was only one word, but their appearances were completely different. On the surface of the purple gold dragon, there was a golden pattern, which made it look even more domineering. Of course, this was still a level 6 star Dharma power, and not a unique star Dharma power. The difference between the two was still relatively large. But this didn't mean that it was weak. It still had an extremely strong explosive power. Dragon soars the 9 heavens. The purple gold dragon raised his fists and met the attack. Even though his cultivation was not as high, his strength was not the least bit weaker. After all, the purple gold dragon was the leader of a clan. With the support of a strong physical body, he could still match this purple dragon. Zishuiwe and Elder Zifeng also used their full strength. They also needed to defend against the energy that leaked from the attack, so they had to use their full strength. Kid, cultivate for a few million more years before you fight me. The purple dragon sneered disdainfully. It slammed forward and collided with the purple gold dragon. Boom! Accompanied by a loud explosion, the purple gold dragon was forced back. A deep dragon claw mark appeared on its chest. However, the purple dragon didn't have it easy either. It was forced back a distance, and the light on its body dimmed rapidly. Many of the purple flames were scattered. I said, "With me here, don't even think about crossing the line." The purple gold dragon ignored the dragon claw mark on its chest and stared at its opponent with a burning gaze. It didn't know how to dodge at all. Tianyun watched from the side in shock. If he faced this attack head-on, he would definitely be seriously injured, right? This terrifying power was really hard to defend against. No wonder it was said that he had to repair it quickly. Under this attack, the other star rune masters would have long become dregs. Then, he increased his speed and continued to repair, wanting to seal this purple dragon as soon as possible. As his repair speed increased, the purple dragon's condition became worse and worse. If this continued, it would definitely be sealed. The purple dragon knew that it couldn't drag on any longer and once again collided with the purple gold dragon. Under the continuous attacks, the purple gold dragon wasn't as strong as the purple dragon. However, the purple gold dragon was still able to withstand the attacks and continued to fiercely charge at the purple dragon. As the purple dragon continued to attack, the purple dragon became weaker and weaker, and the purple gold dragon's injuries also became more and more serious. However, the purple gold dragon still didn't dodge. It wanted to protect Tianyun, who was constantly repairing the ancient seal behind it. This back view was quite reliable. At this time, the purple dragon suddenly retreated, revealing a mocking expression. The purple gold dragon suddenly felt that something was wrong. Its eyes darkened and it fully released its spiritual sense, locking down all the areas. Even if it was tens of thousands of miles underground, it could still sense everything, in order to avoid any accidents. It's too late. The purple dragon laughed sinisterly. The next moment, a divine light suddenly gushed out from the ground, enveloping Tianyun. Tianyun suddenly felt a sense of crisis. In the next second, with a thought, he disappeared. Boom! The purple divine light soared into the sky and broke through the peak of the purple dragon mountain in one fell swoop. It rushed towards the higher areas, finally rushing out of the entire purple flame star and crazily attacking the starry sky outside. The terrifying power was not to mention divine star venerables. Even a heavenly star supremacy would be seriously injured if not killed. How could this be? The purple gold dragon and the others were stunned. They never expected the purple dragon to have such a move. Ha ha ha, do you think I didn't make any preparations after so many years? You sealed me for so many years. If I didn't make any preparations, I'd be a fool. The purple dragon snorted coldly. When it sensed that there was no trace of Tianyun's aura in front of it, it felt relieved. Chapter 23:51. Now that Tianyun was dead, Jinlong and the others could find another Star Rune Master, but who could repair the seal as quickly as Tianyun? The key was that Zilong was determined to rush out. The effect of such a large formation was terrifying. Unknowingly, the edges of the seal were filled with purple flames. At the critical moment, the purple flames would burst out, enough to seriously injure Heavenly Star Supremacy. Fortunately, the target wasn't Jinlong, otherwise, even Jinlong would have been seriously injured. Who would be able to withstand such a terrifying attack? This wasn't the main point. The main point was that the ancient seals began to collapse one by one. This meant that Zilong was frantically attacking the seal, trying to rush out. They had prepared for this moment for so long. This meant that even if they could find a Star Rune Master to repair the seal, they wouldn't be able to do so in time. By the time they found one, the ancient seals would have been mostly destroyed. Moreover, those Star Rune Masters didn't have the ability to repair the ancient seals, so it would be meaningless for them to come. Ha ha ha, I can finally rush out this time. The Star Rune Master you worked so hard to find has been killed by me. Zilong laughed heartily. At this time, it had already returned to its body. Its soul couldn't stay outside for too long, or it would greatly affect itself. It had been waiting for this moment. First, it had waited for them to find a Star Rune Master to reinforce the seal, then it would kill them all. In this way, they wouldn't be able to find a Star Rune Master in a short period of time. This was its real intention. If it had casually attacked the seal, it would have been equivalent to announcing to the Purple Yen tribe that it was about to rush out. In this case, the Purple Yen tribe would probably send 3 patriarchs to guard it. Then, this situation wouldn't have happened. But who would have thought that? Damn it, we fell into its trap? Jinlong and the others were infuriated. However, when they saw that the area where Tianyun was located was gone, their hearts sank. Everything was gone. They would probably have to call for reinforcements immediately. However, when Zilong rushed out, it would probably be extremely powerful. Even the 3 patriarchs wouldn't be able to withstand it. Just as they were about to go back and ask for reinforcements, a figure suddenly flickered and appeared in that area. I almost died. Fortunately, I escaped in time. A familiar voice sounded. Everyone looked in the direction of the voice and were momentarily stunned. The person who appeared in front of them was Tianyun, whom they thought was dead. Who would have thought that in the blink of an eye, Tianyun would return unscathed? Fortunately, he had the super teleportation Godstone, which allowed him to escape from this place in an instant. If he died, then he would really be dead, and only his doppelganger would be left. With his current cultivation, his so-called life could no longer save him. Unless it was an upgraded version of a super life form, that would be a different story. How could this be? They were all stunned, especially the extremely happy Zilong, who didn't even have time to laugh. When he saw Yi Tianyun return, he was immediately dumbfounded. Yi Tianyun ignored their expressions and immediately repaired another batch of ancient seals in the blink of an eye. Protect him. Jinlong didn't know what was going on, but this time, they definitely wouldn't make a mistake. He even crushed the token to ask the other two clan leaders to come out and help. Yes, Shuyu and the others were wild with joy. They all intercepted Yi Tianyun, wanting to protect him. This time, even if they had to sacrifice their lives, they would protect Yi Tianyun's safety. However, there was no need for them to do so. Zilong had already used his last resort. What other tricks could he use? As for the soul ejection technique, it could no longer be used. If he used it again, his soul would most likely be severely injured. Most importantly, the void was torn apart, and two figures rushed out, releasing an incomparably domineering aura. They were the previous clan leaders of the Purple Flame clan. With the arrival of the two clan leaders, and Zilong's current sealed state, how could he cause any trouble? I didn't expect that after so many years, you would still have such a breakthrough ability. I have underestimated you, one of the handsome men said. But it's okay, little friend, you can repair it as you wish. With us here, it can't cause any harm to you. Since the two of them had spoken, their words were worth their weight in gold. There would definitely not be any problems this time. Damn Purple Flame clan, sooner or later, I will rush out and devour all of you. Zilong roared, but it could not rush out. It knew that if it rushed out, it would only be beaten up. No matter how angry it would be of no use. At this time, Yi Tianyun was rapidly repairing the ancient seal, batch by batch. This time, Zilong had already given up struggling. Not to mention the interference of the purple flames, it did not even release a single spark. What was the point of the three clan leaders here? It was better to withdraw all of them and wait for the next counterattack. In this way, Yi Tianyun could relax. The repair process was very smooth, and it did not take long for most of the ancient seal to be repaired. This speed was really shocking. This repair speed is too fast. I have never seen such a fast repair speed. If we need to repair it again, we can also ask him to come over and help. No, why not let him directly become a guest of our Purple Flame clan? Such an amazing ability will be of great help to our Purple Flame clan. The two of them looked at Yi Tianyun with great satisfaction, as if they were choosing a disciple. If Yi Tianyun was from the Purple Flame clan, he would probably have been accepted as a disciple long ago. Yi Tianyun quickly repaired the remaining ancient seal. After the repair, he finally heaved a sigh of relief. The Zilong in front of him was completely sealed, and there was not a single spark left on the ground. Even the usual restlessness of the purple flame star quickly calmed down and returned to its normal state. Repaired? After Yi Tianyun repaired the last ancient seal, he jumped down from above. You have worked hard, young friend. This time it is really all thanks to you. Otherwise, this evil dragon would have really rushed out. The Z-Gold dragon walked over with a look of shame and apologized. This time we did not protect you well enough. As a reward, we will give you an additional divine herb. You can choose whatever you want. At the same time, you can come to our Purple Flame Star to pick any spirit herb you want. This time it was really their fault. They had promised to protect Yi Tianyun, but who knew that he would still fall for it? If not for Yi Tianyun's ability, he might have really died here. It could be said that the Z-Gold dragon had given him a very good reward. He had also promised to let him come and go as he pleased in the future. This was not a small price. However, compared to sealing the Zilong, this was nothing. Chapter 23:52. In the face of such a reward, how could Tianyun stand on ceremony? This was something he ought to do. If he didn't have the teleportation divine stone, he would have died. Under such circumstances, the reward wasn't high, but it wasn't low either. He was still very satisfied with it. The Purple Flame tribe was very polite. As long as he did something good, they would be very friendly. Thank you, tribe leader Z. I won't stand on ceremony. Tianyun smiled and glanced at the purple dragon. He really couldn't move. He couldn't even open his eyes like before. There's no need to stand on ceremony. You've been a great help to our Purple Flame tribe. I wonder if you can become our guest elder? We don't need you to do anything. We just hope that you can help repair the seal when it breaks. Don't worry, we won't mistreat you. The other two patriarchs nodded to express their gratitude to Tianyun, and then they went back. The purple gold dragon would deal with these matters himself. They said that they wouldn't interfere, so they wouldn't interfere. They prepared to tear the void and leave, leaving the purple gold dragon behind to discuss. Tribe leader Z, haven't you thought of killing this evil dragon? Wouldn't there be no future trouble? Tianyun asked. He had such a task now. If they joined forces, the results would be better. Little friend E, didn't I say before that it's not that we don't want to kill this evil dragon? It's just that this evil dragon has an immortal body. We can't kill it. The purple gold dragon shook his head and sighed. They dreamed of killing this evil dragon so that they could rest in peace. However, they couldn't do that. They could only choose to seal it. There is no true immortal body in this world. We can only use our own methods to get rid of it. Tianyun's expression was solemn. I'm sure all of you have heard of similar methods over the years. I wonder if you can tell me? If possible, I can help you solve it. Little friend E, you are not from our Purple Flame tribe. Why are you so enthusiastic? The purple gold dragon thought for a while. It seemed that killing the purple dragon did not mean much to Tianyun. It could even be said that the Purple Flame tribe's survival had nothing to do with him. I am indeed not from the Purple Flame tribe, but I am a guest elder. As a guest elder, I must do something for the Purple Flame tribe. It is definitely a good thing to help this evil dragon. Moreover, if I seal it and it rushes out one day, won't it cause me trouble? Tianyun said solemnly. We are in the same boat now, we can only face it seriously. Tianyun's words are reasonable, so they look at each other, they really can't refute it. If the dragon escaped, the purple would be. Although the purple dragon was of the purple dragon, Tianyun would be of it. Tianyun, guest E, of Tianyun of the dragon of the dragon said. Tianyun of dragon, too. The leader. Little friend E is right. Zijin Long frowned and thought for a moment before saying, all right then, let's discuss this when we return to the clan. What do you think? All right. Tianyun's eyes lit up. It would be great if the other party could cooperate with him. If they refused to cooperate with him, although it would be a little troublesome, he could still solve it himself. After they returned to the clan, the two previous clan leaders did not leave. Instead, they were like spectators, watching from the sidelines. They had no intention of interrupting. To be honest, with the two Heavenly Star Supremes watching from the side, he still felt a little pressured. After Zijin Long adjusted his condition, he came over to discuss this matter with Tianyun. It's not that we haven't thought about the evil dragons. In fact, we've been thinking about how to deal with them at all times. The purple gold dragon replied honestly. It's just that this evil dragon is quite difficult to deal with. It has an immortal body, as I mentioned earlier. Its undying body was quite difficult to deal with. Its original body was formed from the most original purple king flame. One day, it swallowed the corpse of a dragon and became this purple dragon. In essence, it is not a dragon, but a purple king flame. Tianyun's eyes flashed. No wonder he didn't feel any dragon aura from the purple dragon. It was a situation similar to possession. Under such circumstances, there naturally wouldn't be any dragon aura. If its original body wasn't a dragon, then there wouldn't be any dragon aura. Purple King Flame. Tianyun squinted. You mean to say that as long as there's a little bit of purple flame, it can be reborn? He had a general idea of what it meant. Its original body was the Purple King Flame. As long as there was a little bit of purple flame nearby, it could be reborn. With so many purple flames, it could be reborn with just a little bit. It really was an immortal body. Yes, that's what it means. The purple gold dragon felt a headache coming on. That's why it's hard for us to destroy it. If there's even a little bit left, it will be reborn. It's very difficult. What if we swallow it? Tianyun's eyes flashed. Swallow it? The purple gold dragon shook its head. That won't work. Even we can't withstand the Purple King Flame. If we forcefully swallow it, we will be burned to ashes. We're thinking of finding a kind of water to extinguish it. That might be a good idea. Do you have any relevant information? Tianyun asked. The purple gold dragon paused and thought for a while before saying, There is. It's the golden gilt water. However, we haven't seen it before. We don't even know where to find it. Golden gilt water. Tianyun squinted. Actually, he had already used the appraisal eye to see if there was any golden gilt water around. However, after using it, he couldn't find any trace of golden gilt water. This meant that there was no golden gilt water in a large area. This was really rare. If there really was, the Purple Flame tribe would have found it long ago. Yes, we haven't seen golden gilt water before. We don't even know if it exists. It's only recorded in the records. The purple gold dragon sighed. Thank you for your help, young friend E. We are very grateful that you can help us repair the ancient seal. As a guest, we won't treat you badly. This is an advanced divine herb. As for the extra stock, which one does guest E need? I'll take the supreme grass. Tianyun thought about it. There was still the supreme tree and the supreme flower outside, but there was no supreme grass. Hence, he took the supreme grass. Alright, no problem. The purple gold dragon took out the star ring he had prepared and handed it to him. There was an advanced divine herb and a supreme grass in it. After Tianyun took it, he was still a little excited. He finally got this reward, and he hoped that he can really advance to the next level. Chapter 23:53. Thank you, Purple Clan Leader. Can I use this place to break through? Tianyun asked. It was not a bad idea to break through here. The Purple Yen clan was much safer than the outside. Of course, no problem. As our guest, you can walk around most of the areas and use the training rooms as you please. If you need it, we can provide you with some elixirs. Of course, you will have to pay the price. As for the elixirs, we can sell them to you at a discounted price. The purple gold dragon was very friendly. At the same time, he gave Tianyun more choices. It was not an easy task to advance the Star Dharma idol. Some would fail many times. It was even possible to fail 4 or 5 times. If he could succeed after 4 or 5 times, he would be considered capable. After all, to be able to collect 4 or 5 chances to break through, how could this not be considered capable? It was a bit of a waste, but to be able to collect 4 or 5 chances and break through to the star supremacy level, no one would care about how many chances he had spent, let alone think about it being wasteful. To be able to break through to the star supremacy level was a true winner. If I need it, I will mention it. Tianyun smiled. In reality, he would not mention it. No matter how discounted it was, he would have to pay an extremely high price. If he did not pay the price, how could he obtain it? Hence, he decided that if he really could not break through, he would choose to look for it himself. This way, he would not owe any favors. After thinking about it, there was no doubt that this was the most suitable method. He would forget about the rest for the time being. Unless he really could not find it, that would be another matter. After receiving the elixirs, Tianyun rushed into the isolation room excitedly and took out the 3 great elixirs. Seeing the 3 great elixirs again, he was a little excited. If he could successfully break through, he would basically be able to break through to the star supremacy level. After breaking through to the star supremacy level, he would be able to look for the purple cloud star emperor. Even if he did not look for the purple cloud star emperor, he would at least be able to get rid of the ancient giant beast and these hidden dangers. Let's start absorbing. Without any hesitation, Tianyun stuffed the 3 divine medicines into his mouth again and swallowed them down after chewing for a while. After swallowing them completely, they turned into a wave of energy that flowed into his body, forming a second energy diagram. What's going on? Tianyun stood up abruptly. He was shocked by his own situation. The second time was still the same? This was 2 portions of godly medicine, not 1. He dared to say that there was absolutely no leakage of the first batch. Now that he had consumed the second batch, the situation was still the same. Not to mention advancing, there wasn't even an effect. This stunned him. What was happening to him? For others, just 1 portion would cause a worldly phenomenon, but for him, there was no phenomenon at all. It couldn't be said that there were no anomalies, but there were only a few anomalies. That was, a clump of energy appeared in his body, just like before. This couldn't be called a phenomenon anymore, it was called strange. This is too strange. Why didn't this happen when I was advancing? Why is it happening now? Tianyun frowned. He had not expected this to happen. After thinking about it many times, he felt that it would at most fail and not form a second energy cluster. This meant that he had to continue absorbing the elixirs, but he didn't know how many times he had to absorb them to cause a worldly phenomenon and then succeed. Do I need 3 portions of ingredients? Tianyun thought for a while and could only think so. Otherwise, why couldn't he advance? He could only store them in his body, and couldn't cause any kind of change. He stood up and walked out of the room. As soon as he walked out, he ran into Zi Shuiwei and the others. She asked curiously, "Guest E, what's wrong? Didn't you say you were going to break through in seclusion?" "Well, there was a small accident. I'm not in a hurry to break through." Tianyun made up a story casually. Why didn't he want to break through? He really wanted to break through, but the situation was so complicated that he could only make up an excuse. I see. A lot of preparation work is needed. It's not easy to advance. If you prepare well, you can increase the success rate by a lot, Zi Shuiwei answered very seriously. This made Tianyun's face twitch. I think so too. Now I want to go to Violet Flame Star to find some treasures. I don't know if that's okay? Tianyun asked. Of course. As long as it's not a forbidden area, you can go anywhere you want. But we've just settled the situation on the Violet Flame planet, and there are still many forces outside. It won't be easy for you to move. Zi Shuiwei thought for a while and said, in a month they will all leave, and we won't open it to the outside world. It'll be much more convenient for you to move then. Those divine star venerables who came in had paid the price. It would be too heartless to just chase them out. Besides, a month was not a long time, so they would wait for the time to pass. I don't want to wait any longer. They can look for themselves and I'll look for mine. Tianyun shrugged. It was impossible for him to hide from them. All right. If you get into a conflict with them, just tell them that you're a guest elder of the Purple Flame tribe. If they don't even give you face, please come to us for help. Our Purple Flame tribe might not be the strongest in this area, but we still have some say. Zi Shuiwei smiled. As our guest elder, we will do our best to protect you in this area. When Tianyun heard that, he was really touched. This was equivalent to telling him that as long as he was in the Violet Flame planet, he could do whatever he wanted. In the outside world, he could also use this name. The treatment given to him by the Purple Flame tribe was really not bad. Alright. If it's necessary, I'll tell them. Tianyun smiled. After giving his instructions, he left the Purple Flame clan and flew out. As soon as he left, he immediately locked onto the area where the Supreme Flower was and sprinted over. He had to find the divine herb now, so he definitely wouldn't slow down. As expected, the purple flames aren't wreaking havoc outside. Tianyun looked around. Basically, there weren't any purple flames coming out. It didn't mean that there weren't any purple flames, but they weren't as frequent as before. Some dangerous areas would still have purple flames, which were equally dangerous. After looking around, his figure flickered, and he went straight to his destination. The area where the Supreme Flower was located wasn't far, and he could reach it after flying for a while. After arriving, he saw a purple forest in front of him. Towering trees covered a large area, and it was so densely packed that he couldn't see what was going on inside from the outside. However, he could see some divine star venerables flying nearby, as if they were looking for something. Chapter 23:54. There were many divine star venerables in this forest. They were all searching for what they wanted at the last moment. There were many spiritual herbs on the violet flame star, and many of them were precious. Not to mention the supreme grass, there were many spiritual herbs that could increase one's cultivation. For them, the supreme grass was something that could only be chanced upon, so they were quite happy to find ordinary spiritual herbs for cultivation. They had all come to the violet flame star for this reason. There were many precious spiritual herbs here. Just from the fact that there were several divine herbs like the supreme flower here, one could imagine how rich the violet flame star was. Tianyun ignored them and headed straight for his destination in the forest. When they saw Tianyun enter, they didn't bother to pay attention to him. As long as there was no conflict of interest, they wouldn't attack him directly. They had come here to search for spiritual herbs, not to kill people. Moreover, their cultivations weren't weak. If they really fought, it wouldn't be easy to deal with them. It's roughly in this direction. Tianyun flew at high speed. Since there were no purple flames attacking him, his movements were much easier. However, purple flames would occasionally attack him from below. However, this wasn't a problem for him. He could easily block them. An occasional attack wasn't a problem, but if it was a frequent attack, it would really be fatal. As he flew, he soon arrived in front of a small hill. This small hill was covered in purple crystals. From the outside, it didn't look much different from other small hills. However, there was a supreme flower in the middle of this small hill. Tianyun smashed his fist down. With a dong, a big hole was smashed open in the small hill. When he flew in, he immediately saw a purple bewitching flower leaning quietly against the side, absorbing the essence of heaven and earth. When Tianyun rushed in, the originally quiet supreme flower suddenly emitted a dazzling purple light and shot countless purple light beams at Tianyun. The terrifying power was comparable to the attack of a mid-late divine star venerate. This was the situation with normal divine herbs. As long as an enemy invaded its range, it would immediately attack. It would not sit still and wait for death to come, allowing others to plunder it. In his rage, extremely violent attacks bombarded Tianyun, making it almost impossible for Tianyun to dodge. However, Tianyun had no intention of dodging. Instead, he charged forward, raised his fist, and smashed it against the light beams. Boom! An earth-shattering sound rang out. Purple light and 8-colored divine light soared into the sky. It was extremely eye-catching. This was simply a battle between late-stage divine star venerables. The effects it brought were simply too shocking. Soon, the purple light disappeared, and Tianyun's figure gradually became clear. He gripped the supreme flower tightly as his eyes lit up. I finally got a supreme flower. Without much difficulty, he easily obtained it. His cultivation was already heaven-defying to begin with, so the supreme flower of a late-stage divine star venerable realm cultivator didn't mean much to him. As soon as he threw the supreme flower into his star ring, several figures suddenly flew over and surrounded the area he was in. Supreme flower. The eyes of the divine star venerable powerhouses that flew over were filled with greed. They had all seen the supreme flower that Tianyun had just stuffed in. They had come here with the hope of finding a divine herb. If they really couldn't pluck it, there was nothing they could do about it. Now that they had seen someone else pluck a supreme flower, how could they not be envious? "Friend, may I know which force you are from?" They flew down and started asking questions. At the same time, they observed the situation around them to see if there was anyone else nearby. "Force? I don't belong to any force." Tianyun glanced at them calmly and said, "If there's nothing else, please move aside. You're blocking my way." There were 5 mid-stage and late-stage divine star venerable powerhouses in front of him. They formed a circle around him and surrounded him. It was obvious that they were powerhouses from a great family. If they could pay so many star venerable level treasures, they definitely wouldn't be weak. "There's something, of course there's something." Gongqing, who was the leader, smiled. "We're from the Hidden Dragon Planet's Leitang clan. We're lacking a supreme flower. I wonder if you could give it to us? Of course, we won't treat you badly. We can offer you some things in exchange." "What can you offer in exchange? The supreme grass or the supreme tree?" Tianyun said calmly. "It just so happens that I'm also lacking the other 2 kinds. As long as you can take out a divine herb of the same level, I'll exchange with you." "We don't have that, but we can exchange some of the spiritual herbs we pluck." Gongqing extended his hand and several spiritual herbs appeared in his hand. They were precious, but they weren't just a little bit inferior to the supreme flower. "Do you think I'm a fool?" Tianyun's expression was calm. The spiritual herbs that the other party took out didn't surprise him. "Of course you're not a fool. You're just a fool with good luck." Gongqing laughed loudly and said with a gloomy expression, "I'll give you 2 choices now. Either you exchange with us for the spiritual herbs or you die here. Make your choice. If you exchange with us for the spiritual herbs, our Thunder Clan will take care of you in the future. Isn't this a good deal?" "Sorry, I'm not interested." Tianyun had already expected this. Since they had surrounded him, it was clear that they were going to use forceful methods. Indeed, they were going to use forceful methods now. "Even if you're not interested, you still have to be interested." Gongqing walked over with a cold gaze. "You're alone. Your luck is pretty good. You even managed to find such a precious supreme flower." Gongqing had only come down to take a look. Since he discovered that Lin Yun was alone and had no backing, what was there for him to be afraid of? If Lin Yun was from one of the 10 great clans, he would have been more cautious. But things were different now. Lin Yun was just a wandering cultivator without any backing. What was there for him to be polite about? "It seems like you're certain that I don't have any backing," Tianyun said with a faint smile. "Right, my backing is the purple flame race. Is that considered backing?" "Your backing is the purple flame race?" Gongqing was startled when he heard that. Then, he burst out laughing. "Why don't you find someone more trustworthy to lie to? The purple flame race is your backing? The purple flame race has always discriminated against outsiders. Why would they help you?" Gongqing and the others didn't believe him at all. This caused Tianyun to shrug his shoulders and say, "Since you don't believe me, there's nothing I can do." "Of course we don't believe you. Who would believe the words of a fool?" Gongqing glared at Lin Yun with killing intent in his eyes. Attack. Chapter 23:55. As soon as Gongqing gave the order, the other 4 companions immediately took action. Previously, they had agreed to let Tianyun make the choice. Who knew where the choice came from? They immediately attacked. Their movements were rather ruthless as they went straight for Yi Tianyun's head. As for Gong Qing, he watched closely from the side to prevent other forces from charging in. No matter which of the three divine medicines, they could make a divine star venerable go crazy. This was a divine medicine that could help a divine star venerable break through. Who would be willing to let it go? Since that's the case, then don't blame me, Yi Tianyun suddenly smiled. He stomped his feet and turned into a stream of light that charged in all directions. Boom! A late-stage divine star venerable cultivator was blown up with a single punch. The first, boom. The second, boom. The third, Yi Tianyun blew up a divine star venerable powerhouse with one punch. It was not difficult at all. He did not even give the other party a chance to react before he blew them up. Open! The remaining one roared angrily. A sixth-grade star Dharma idol, Lei Minglong, appeared behind him. An incomparably huge thunder dragon attached itself to his body. Crackling sounds of lightning immediately appeared on his body, looking rather astonishing and domineering. His physical strength had been greatly enhanced. It could be said that he was a rather astonishing and terrifying existence. Not only his speed, but also his strength had been greatly enhanced, especially the lightning on the surface of his body. If touched, one would definitely be electrocuted, and this was only for others. For Yi Tianyun, it was still a matter of one punch. Explode! Yi Tianyun sneered. He did not even display the star Dharma idol. He still punched down and blew up this cultivator, turning him into a bloody mist that dissipated. This level of power scared Gong Qing out of his wit. His companion's cultivation was not weaker than his. Who knew that they would all be blown up by Yi Tianyun with one punch? Was this still the power of a rogue cultivator? How is this possible? Gong Qing was so frightened that he retreated. However, he quickly calmed down and said angrily, "Do you know who you killed? Didn't I kill someone from your Leitang clan?" Yi Tianyun knew what Gong Qing wanted to ask. Gong Qing wanted to use his family's influence to pressure him. This was an old trick that he had heard so many times that his ears had grown calluses. "You still dare to do such a thing? Our Thunder Clan will not let you off. Don't think that you can be arrogant just because you have a bit of power. Our Thunder Clan has several heavenly star supremes. Leave behind the supreme flower, and I'll leave your corpse intact." Gong Qing said coldly. "Leave me an intact corpse?" Step by step, Yi Tianyun walked towards Gong Qing and smiled faintly. "In that case, I won't leave your corpse intact. The words you people from the great clans are really disgusting. Saying such words, you want me to surrender without putting up a fight? Even if I have to risk my life and kill a few more people as scapegoats, I won't die in vain. Furthermore, I have never thought of dying, and am not afraid of your Thunder Clan. If you're not afraid, then die." Gong Qing roared furiously. Suddenly, he unleashed his full strength, unleashing his strongest combat prowess. Thunder Minglong also appeared behind him as he charged towards Yi Tianyun. He was indeed worthy of being a captain. His combat prowess was much stronger than the others, especially the lightning flickering on his body. He was simply a heaven-defying existence. However, this was meaningless. To other late-stage divine star venerates, he was considered a rather valiant existence. Before Yi Tianyun, there was no longer any difference in strength. Boom! Gong Qing punched over. Their Thunder Clan was most proud of their physique. Only in close combat could they erupt with their strongest combat prowess. However, this punch was easily received by Yi Tianyun. Yi Tianyun grabbed Gong Qing's fist and said indifferently, "This is your strength? The power of thunder isn't bad, but to me, it's still lacking." Gong Qing's pupils constricted. His full-strength punch actually did not cause any damage to Yi Tianyun. It merely left a little charred mark on Yi Tianyun's palm. "It's my turn." Yi Tianyun dragged Gong Qing over and smashed him into the ground. With a boom, a huge pit was smashed open in the hard ground. A large area of the purple trees in the surroundings collapsed, causing thick smoke to billow. Gong Cheng's bones were all shattered. He was only left with half a breath of life. At this moment, a beam of light flew out of his body and rapidly disappeared into the horizon. Cough, 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 you're dead. The Thunder Clan will not let you off. Gong Cheng had not even finished speaking when Tianyun lifted him up by the head and started searching his soul. He extracted all of Gong Cheng's memories to see how strong the Thunder Clan was. After a moment, Gong Cheng's eyes widened. He wanted to say something, but he could not even speak. Why do you think I left you alive? I just wanted to take a look at your clan situation, Tianyun said indifferently. After a careful inspection, you're only SOSO. If your Thunder Clan comes for revenge, I'll kill as many as you come. Here, he was equivalent to a bachelor. Who would know which region he came from? As long as he did not say it, no one would know that he came from the Scarlet Moon planet. At present, the only one who knew was the Wu clan. However, this was not a big deal. Given the Wu clan's situation, they probably would not give him up. Moreover, he had a backer now. What was he afraid of? Most importantly, when he broke through to the Heavenly Star Supremacy, would he still be afraid of the Thunder Clan? After finishing his words, Tianyun crushed Gong Cheng's head and looked at the dissipating light in the sky. Sending a message? Automatically sending a message when in danger. This is not a bad method. That beam of light just now was a kind of message. It had transmitted the situation here and informed the Thunder Clan of the situation here. He believed that the Thunder Clan would very soon send people to intercept him outside and wait for him to go out. I wonder if the Purple Flame Clan will still stand by my side when the time comes? Tianyun's eyes flickered. Sometimes, he could tell if the other party was treating him sincerely or not. However, speaking of which, he had previously promised the Wu clan that he would not join any faction. Now that he had become a foreign chamberlain of the Purple Flame Clan, in theory, he did not join any faction. A foreign chamberlain was equivalent to a guest. He could just move around freely. He was not tied to the same place and would not be as strict as joining. He did not think too much and changed his target to the Paragon Tree again. Just this Paragon Tree was enough for him to collect the 3 great divine herbs. If he succeeded, he would be able to break through to the Heavenly Star Supremacy cultivation. Compared to having a backer, becoming stronger was far more important. As long as he became stronger, he would not have to be afraid of anything. Swish. Chapter 2356. The Tree of Supremacy and the Flower of Supremacy were also very tricky. The Tree of Supremacy was even trickier than the Flower of Supremacy. One couldn't tell that it was a Tree of Supremacy from the outside. It was just an ordinary tree. Therefore, the Tree of Supremacy could be said to be the most difficult medicine to find. This was only to others. To Tianyun, it wasn't difficult at all. Through the detection eye, he immediately found the area where the Tree of Supremacy was. It wasn't far from him. Soon, Tianyun arrived at the area where the Tree of Supremacy was. This area was similar to the area where the Flower of Supremacy was. They were all huge purple trees. The environment here was actually pretty much the same. It was mainly affected by the purple flames. If one wanted to survive here, they basically had to be these giant trees. As for the other spiritual medicines, they also survived in this form. They were also purple in color, and they hid themselves quite well. Of course, no matter how well they hid themselves, they couldn't hide themselves as well as the Tree of Supremacy. Without the detection eye, I wouldn't even know that the tree in front of me is the Tree of Supremacy. Tianyun looked down from afar and saw that one of the inconspicuous purple trees was the Tree of Supremacy. From the outside, it didn't look any different from the other giant trees. Be it the patterns or the aura, they were all the same. It was very difficult to find it just by sensing it. Under normal circumstances, if a cultivator wanted to find the tree of supremacy, they would have to bombard the entire forest. The only thing that could survive was the tree of supremacy. Of course, the tree of supremacy could run away. It wouldn't really let itself be beaten up. By the time someone swept through the forest to find it, it would have already escaped. It would run away immediately if it was slightly sensitive, and its speed was quite shocking. Tianyun wasn't worried that the tree of supremacy would run away. No matter how it ran, it couldn't escape from his detection eye. Unless it left this area, he would find it. Then, he flew down and pretended that he was just passing by. As expected, when he got close to the tree of supremacy, the tree of supremacy ignored him. It only thought that he was a normal cultivator that was just passing by. If he suddenly ran away, it would be no different from exposing himself. When he got close to the supreme tree, he suddenly grabbed it and fiercely grabbed it. When it grabbed onto the giant tree, the tree of supremacy shook violently, as if it didn't expect Tianyun to discover it. At this moment, the supreme tree made a buzzing sound and its body completely fell off. A golden light burst out and quickly drilled into the ground. It was like a cicada shedding its carapace. It easily escaped from the purple tree's body and burrowed into the ground. Tianyun had already expected this. He stretched out his hand and clenched it, forcefully stopping the supreme tree that was trying to drill down. Still want to escape? Tianyun fiercely dragged the paragon tree. The paragon tree wriggled crazily like a huge living fish, trying to break free from his hand. But in its current state, how could it possibly struggle free? If he could break free like this, then he really didn't want to live in this world anymore. Seeing that it couldn't struggle free, the supreme tree could only swing its trunk. The roots under the ground quickly wrapped around Tianyun, wanting to wrap him up like a dumpling. Tianyun snorted coldly and fiercely pulled the supreme tree forward. With a boom, it was as if he was holding a huge stick and smashed it forward, creating a deep ravine on the ground. Then, he smashed it to the side, creating another deep ravine. He didn't give the supreme tree a chance to react at all. He kept smashing forward, wanting to knock the supreme tree out and make it compromise. Under the continuous attacks, even the supreme tree was unable to withstand such a berserk power. The roots that had just wrapped around the supreme tree were completely useless. They were easily torn away by Tianyun, while he himself stood there without moving at all. Finally, after smashing more than 100 times, the supreme tree completely withered. The originally straight trunk became soft now. If he continued smashing it, it would probably explode. Let's see if you can still be arrogant this time. Tianyun put away the supreme tree and sealed it perfectly. It was a little more difficult than subduing the supreme flower, but it was just a little more difficult. It was just like a warm-up exercise for Tianyun. Friend, the supreme tree is not bad. Give it to us, and we'll spare your life. At this moment, a discordant voice came from the side. 6 people landed from the side and surrounded the area he was in, not letting him escape. Tianyun glanced at them. He wasn't surprised. Since the Purple Flame tribe opened up to the outside world, many big families would come to search for treasures. Basically, many areas would have divine star venerables roaming around. If there was any movement, they would naturally fly over to check. Seeing that there was only Tianyun, they immediately became more courageous. Another blind person came to steal my things, and you want to spare my life? Tianyun looked at them and said disdainfully, previously, there was a Latang family that wanted to keep me, but I kept them. I wonder which family you are from? You kept the Latang family? Ha ha, what a joke. I was just greeting them just now, but you told me to keep them. Even if you want to brag, you should check thoroughly first, okay? Dao Mingda, who was the leader, laughed coldly. He felt that Tianyun was lying. Tianyun said calmly, they were just killed by me just now. It's normal for you to greet them before this. Oh, right, I'm a guest elder of the Purple Flame Tribe. If you want to find trouble with me, you can ask the Purple Flame Tribe. What a joke. Lying isn't enough, and now you're telling me a second lie. Dao Mingde looked at him with a pitiful gaze and laughed coldly. None of you can deceive anyone. If you want to scare us away, you should at least come up with a more believable lie, okay? Seems like none of you believe me. It's really hard. These days, no one will believe you even if you tell the truth. Tianyan said calmly, you guys are too slow in grasping information. This all happened just now, so it's normal that you guys don't know anything about it. But since it's come to this, I'll just treat it as you guys giving me some star energy. After all, breaking through to the heavenly star supremacy requires a lot of star energy. Without star energy, I really can't advance any further. Tianyun looked at them as if he were looking at a bunch of fat pigs, ready to slaughter them. Another joke. Do you really think that you can break through to the heavenly star supremacy just because you obtained the tree of supremacy? Dao Mingde shook his head, looking at them as if they were country bumpkins. You guys don't know anything, but you're still acting arrogant in front of me. Go on, kill him. I can't be bothered to talk to him anymore. I don't want to communicate with a liar. They really thought that Tianyun was a liar, just like the Leitang family. Chapter 23:57. Dao Mingde couldn't be bothered to communicate with Tianyun anymore. In his opinion, Tianyun was a liar through and through. Since that was the case, he couldn't be bothered to communicate with Tianyun anymore. Killing him wouldn't cause any trouble anyway. His companions quickly surrounded him, each of them giving their all. After all, Tianyun was a late-stage divine star venerable, so they still had to treat him seriously. It's just that their serious attitude is useless to Tianyun. Boom. Tianyun didn't even use his weapon. He just rushed up and gave them a good beating, blowing up all the divine star venerates that surrounded him. It wasn't difficult at all. This scene was the same as when he faced the Leitang clan. The divine star venerates that surrounded him were blown up first, leaving Dao Mingde alone. How can you be so strong? Dao Mingde was dumbfounded. He never expected Tianyun to be so terrifying. It's your turn now. Tianyun walked towards Dao Mingde step by step with a cold glint in his eyes. I am from the Beifong clan, one of the top 10 clans. You're dead meat if you dare kill someone from the Beifong clan. Dao Mingde was rather confident. He thought that with the Beifong clan as his backing, the other party wouldn't do anything to him. Are disciples of big clans all so arrogant and despotic? That's what the Leitang clan said previously. At this time, you're even using your backing to scare people. Do you think there's any point in doing so? Tianyun approached him step by step. Dao Mingde's heart trembled. It seemed like Tianyun's words were all true. This meant that the Leitang clan had been destroyed, and he might still be a guest of the Purple Flame clan. They had really kicked an iron plate this time. Why, even if you're a guest of the Purple Flame clan, you're just a guest. If you dare to make a move again, the Beifong clan will definitely destroy you. Dao Mingde refused to bow down and chose to threaten to protect himself. However, the more he did this, the more displeased Tianyun felt. Is that so? Then I'll wait for the Beifong clan to come and destroy me. Tianyun snorted coldly and stomped on the ground. He turned into a hurricane and charged over. Before Dao Mingde could react, he was sent flying by Tianyun's punch. He smashed onto the ground and almost died. Tianyun lifted Dao Mingde's head up again and started to search his soul. He was not afraid of the Beifong clan, but he had to at least know the situation of the Beifong clan. After checking for a while, he crushed Dao Mingde's head. Dao Mingde didn't even have the chance to say his last words. Since they dared to snatch his treasure, they must pay the price of death. After killing Dao Mingde, a beam of light shot out. Just like before, it went back to report the news. Yi Tianyun's gaze swept across, and the divine star venerable powerhouses in the distance shrank back. They all saw the scene before them. Even the powerhouses of the Beifong clan were killed, let alone them. They didn't have the guts to take the supreme tree or the supreme flower. However, they looked at Yi Tianyun as if they were looking at a dead man. How could he survive after provoking the Beifong clan? They could just send a heavenly star supremacy to suppress him to death. Unless Yi Tianyun broke through to the heavenly star supremacy, he would definitely die. However, breaking through to the heavenly star supremacy was easier said than done. The price he had to pay was huge, and he needed even more time. In their opinion, by the time the Beifong clan swarmed over, Yi Tianyun wouldn't have broken through to the heavenly star supremacy. Even if he raised his cultivation level, it would be meaningless. After all, he still had to raise his cultivation level. Both of these required a lot of resources and time. Now that the news had been spread, the Beifong clan would probably rush over soon. How could he escape then? When Yi Tianyun saw that no one was coming to find trouble with him, his figure flashed and he flew towards the Purple Flame clan. Now that he had collected 3 types of divine herbs, he definitely had to absorb them to raise his cultivation level. When he returned to the Purple Flame clan, many people didn't know what was going on. Yi Tianyun had just left not long ago. Now that he had returned, no one knew what was going on. However, they didn't know that Yi Tianyun had only gone for a short while, and he had already picked 2 divine herbs. No one would believe him if he told them about this. If the Z-Gold Dragon and the others knew about this, who knew if they would let him do as he pleased? With this ability, wouldn't he take away all the divine herbs in the future? The Purple Flame clan could have been self-sufficient. Now that they didn't have any, it would be embarrassing. Returning to his seclusion room, Yi Tianyun took out the 3 divine herbs and prepared to stuff them into his mouth. After a while, the 3 divine herbs became an elixir. It looked golden and dazzling, and it was quite tempting. I hope I can successfully break through this time. Otherwise, it will be really troublesome. How can there be so many divine herbs nearby? Yi Tianyun shook his head. Currently, there were basically no divine herbs left in the Purple Flame clan. The Purple Flame star was rich in resources, but it wasn't to the extent where divine herbs could be found everywhere. Immediately, he stuffed the 3 divine herbs into his mouth. This was the 3rd batch of divine herbs. If this didn't work, he would really want to vomit blood. Most importantly, if he didn't succeed, he would really want to vomit blood. This was 3 batches of godly medicine, not 1. Other people could have a chance to break through with 1 batch of divine herbs, but he had 3 batches. If he failed, he would directly lose 3 batches of divine herbs. One could imagine how uncomfortable it would be. When the 3rd batch of divine herbs entered his stomach, another ball of energy appeared in his body. This time, there were 3 balls of energy. At this time, the 3 balls of energy suddenly fused and formed a ball of energy. Then, it gradually entered his body. Unknowingly, his body produced a very strange feeling. Did I successfully break through? Yi Tianyun was stunned. There was no tribulation or anything like that. It was very smooth. He successfully broke through just like that. There was no difficulty at all. This situation shocked him. Other people tried their best but still couldn't break through. But after absorbing 3 batches of divine herbs, he broke through so easily? There was not even the slightest fluctuation. He successfully broke through just like that. This was really surprising. But it was enough that he could break through. He couldn't be bothered to find out why. Let me familiarize myself with the situation first. Yi Tianyun carefully felt the higher-grade unique star Dharma idol. He wanted to see how strong it would be. Previously, every time he broke through a grade, he could get an additional attribute. What kind of attribute would he get this time? At the same time, the Beifong clan and the Thunder clan quickly rushed over from all directions and killed their way to the Purple Flame star. The two great clans personally came, and each had a heavenly star supremacy. With such a big lineup, they really had to come out to welcome them. May I know why the two of you have come? The purple gold dragon was not afraid of them. If they really fought, the purple flame tribe was not afraid of anyone. Patriarch Purple, I want to find him. I think he should still be in the purple flame star. The Thunder Supremacy took out a projection and projected Yi Tianyun's appearance for the purple gold dragon to see clearly. It's him? The purple gold dragon was stunned. He never thought it would be Yi Tianyun. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.